level ups, right? We had a Meridian.
Yep.
And Cora both leveled up.
Yeah.
Terrific. So you wake up basically, and your skin's glowing. Your hair looks really beautiful. You feel incredibly empowered.
Have we had a long rest then?
Well, technically, I was going to do something, but because of this whole brouhaha with the spells, I'm not going to make it that complicated. So yes, you've all leveled up.
Okay.
You're level 8, and Meridian is level 3.
2.
2. Oh, still 2. Oh, that's right. This is still your first level up.
Yeah.
So because you actually ended up going several sessions without leveling up, usually I would have said, the first one you level up immediately, the next 2 you level up again. You'll level up again after your next long rest, because we actually dragged out quite a lot of encounters in between, and some of them were boss encounters. Cool.
Before I went to bed, if we're at that point, can I just say, can I have attuned to the ring? After I forgot who identified it for me, I'm sorry.
Wow, I'm so forgettable.
And cast
You'll have
absorb
to
elements twice.
You can do it if you can remember who it was, and issue an out-of-game apology to your fellow player for hurting her feelings. Because I felt it over here.
Or it was either it was Story, I believe.
You'd better be sure. You're on your last death save.
Uh-oh.
Yes, it was Story.
Yes.
Okay.
It was
I was like, what is this gaslighting going on here?
Emma's too new to know if I'm totally joking or, oh my God, what did I get myself into? But yes, it's always nice to, thank your party members and especially the players. Remember that they're taking time to be considerate, thinking about what the other party members need. And sometimes during combat, they're taking their action economy instead of doing something potentially cool that they would like to do, especially somebody like, Joe playing Cora and Henrietta playing Dallin, who have the healing abilities, or anybody else who takes a moment to do that, whether it's passing along a potion or doing something similar. It's always nice to remember that folks have a choice in how they run their characters, and doing what's best for the party sometimes means sacrificing what one might want to do for one's own glory. I can hear somebody vaping as well, so...
May I metagame slightly?
Sure, Drew. It depends on what it is, but yeah, sure.
Well, with leveling up, I get to choose an extra 2 spells.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to let the guys know that I've chosen Tongues and Locate Creature this time. So if we are in a situation where we need to find where Cullen is, for instance, I could use a spell slot to find where he is in relation to us. Or
he's
I was gonna say he's dead, right?
Yeah, I know.
Over here looking very splattered.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if we came across
here,
any other enemies, shall we say?
He's right there in a pile of bones, desiccated skin, and armor. Although his eyes are still glowing, but the rest of him is obviously not moving.
Creepy.
The Tongues one is I can hear and have the ability to hear any spoken language, or I can grant that to somebody else. So that if we, if somebody's chattering away, and somebody,
Yeah.
That actually sounds really useful.
If you're going to use it on, if you're going to use a spell slot on Cud, I'll find some way to make that fun. Anyway, sorry, I feel a bit like Dad today. Apologize for that. It's all Maddie's fault.
It's adulting you're doing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all this adulting and all this being reminded of my mortality by Maddie. But I'm looking forward to the day that you get old enough that your skin sags and those tattoos of yours look like shit. So congratulations on good life choices.
Thank you.
How many have you got again?
I have 6.
Oh yeah, same here. I thought we had the same amount.
Yeah, I
it'll
just
be
got a new one, which brought us up to the same level.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and if you don't like them, they're only forever.
Just get a new one, and then it'll be happy again.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now, I think tattoos are cool. Let's see. We've got. I don't have any, but so Emma's updated her character. Joe's updated her character, and then we had several people who picked up some spells. Maddie, Satina had her spells changed, and Tara has worked out hers. And Henrietta, your character is still trying to figure out what to do with this new
Companion?
mount,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word.
I was
And then-
actually thinking of getting Salerno's robe and try to cover up the holes on the horse.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in this place that you haven't really found yet.
Does it have a name?
Yeah, you gave it a name,
Yeah, Rimfaxi.
Oh,
which
that's right.
not to be mispronounced, by the way.
Yeah. How are you spelling that?
It depends on if you want to spell it in Nordic. It's Hrimfaxi. Rimfaxi. It's the horse that
It sounds so bad.
It does.
it's in
It sounds like some new sexual position.
what's it called?
It sounds
Doesn't
very
I don't mean to be crude, but doesn't it? I mean,
It does.
Didn't anybody else
English.
hear it
It
and
does
think,
sound
"Ooh,
very dirty.
Man, you
kinda-
want to pronounce this Rimfaxi?
yeah."
Rimfaxi. It's the horse that
Somehow it even sounds worse in Norwegian.
Yeah.
it pulls the moon over the sky in
Oh.
northern mythology.
That's cool.
I would have just gone with Dobbin.
But that's fine.
That's so
Oh,
English of
Binky.
you, Tara.
It's probably just gonna be. Yeah, I
Hey,
don't know.
look, if
Up.
that's the name of your
Yeah.
mount, then that is the name of your mount. Don't let anybody kink shame you. No, but seriously, it sounds like a great name, Rimfaxi.
It's a very good name.
Yeah, it is a very good name. We'll all get used to it eventually, but there will continue to be juvenile sniggering from the
Of course there
exceptionally
will.
non-juvenile corner of the room.
The old corner of the room that find
Yeah.
everything childish funny.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Me and Joe will be like, pointing fingers and making jokes about everybody else.
Cam, Colin Schleipner from Odin's horse with 8 legs.
Henrietta, honestly, call him Rimfaxi, because
Rimfaxi.
if we make this a podcast, people will fucking love it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then we've got, last but absolutely not least, the almost unforgettable story
Yeah.
with her wish spell.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Does everybody
cool.
look at Story a bit enviously? The green
bit.
eye of jealousy?
A little bit. Too bad we can't steal it.
I have spell book. I am happy.
Yeah, same.
I mean, it would be an easy thing to just sort of take it from her somehow and then push her into the river and then
Yeah.
help her regain her memories, except for the fact that she had the wish spell.
Yep.
You take that, though. Isn't
Evil.
it in her head?
Well, we
Yeah.
are kind of evil now, aren't we?
You
No, we're
are.
not. We are
you
not.
are.
Hey, it's
Well,
only-
you,
I'm not evil. I'm neutral.
you
Hey,
move
well,
towards
I'm
evil.
not. I'm actually evil now.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
neutrally evil as well.
Wow.
This is definitely that, Anakin slaying the little baby Jedi moment.
That's tough.
And some of you even have magical abilities to influence, charm, persuade. if you could take control of her mind and make her cast the spell for your benefit as a friend, and then push her into the river and make her forget.
That would be awful.
Yeah, it would.
I hear Jessica vaping furiously.
All I can think is you have to prepare when you're using the wish spell. You can't just
throw it out willy-nilly.
No, you do not throw out willy-nilly, because you can guarantee a DM will try and find like that cursed monkey paw.
Well, so I want to be clear about something. I am not that kind of a DM, but you do have to take it in context. So if you do get a beneficial wish spell from, say, Lethander for saving the world, I won't do that. The source of this particular wish spell, however, is a good point of concern, because he's a lawful evil deity, right? And when we talk to, I think I've had this, what does alignment mean and what are examples of alignment in our game speech with each of you individually. A good example of a very lawful evil person who fits into society, which, by the way, there are official modules where there are plenty of lawful evil people who are leading members of society in a particular, social setting, like a human settlement or something. Might be a lawyer, a certain kind of lawyer, a lawyer who makes millions of dollars protecting known members of criminal organizations, right? Or somebody who profits by forcing the law to change in order for them to sell opioids, drugs legally and make billions of dollars, right? Those are lawful evil examples. So, if you're dealing with somebody who's like that, and Bane definitely has a certain aspect to him that fits that characteristic, you probably would want to be a bit more careful about reading the fine print, as we would say. Now, the other side of the wish spell, as you will all be able to access through your player's handbook or through Roll20, is that you can use it to replicate any spell of 8th level or lower without material components or any preparation or anything like that. So if there is a spell of 8th level or lower and you wanted to use it for that one time, you can certainly do that. That's one of the stated uses of the spell. There are some other aspects of the spell that also can be used without any risk, such as creating a magical, a rare object that is worth up to 25,000 gold pieces in value, I think it is, reversing a bunch of events that happened recently, bringing back the party to life or something, healing the party, I think it is. So these are all things you can do without risk. And, as always, I play by raw for the sake of both simplicity as well as fairness. So if you wanted to use the spell for that reason, your character will inherently understand that these are the limitations. You can certainly try to do something else, and then, the further you get away from the spirit of what the guaranteed riskless potential outcomes are for the spell, the more likely, in a subjective manner, you are likely to run into some sort of a catch-22 or some other blowback. Is that reasonable? Is that clear?
Yeah,
Makes
if
sense?
you were going to use it to use a 8th level or lower spell, does that happen immediately, or does that take time for it to manifest the spell?
Yes. It'll literally just replicate the spell, but without things like material components. So some spells need material components.
But it'll do it immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's a spell, for example, that has a very long preparation time or casting time, the spell will execute immediately, as opposed to, like, I think the simulacrum spell requires something like a very long amount of preparation and 24 hours of casting or something. So you won't need to do that. It'll immediately execute.
Oh, wow.
But but Wish has its limitations, so don't there's a reason why I always like to play Wizards. But it does have limitations, including if you were to cast it multiple times, at some point you might not be able to cast it anymore.
Okay.
In 5th edition.
Yeah.
But again, this is stories. This is stories.
Stories.
Yeah. So those of you who would like to influence Story's decision are certainly welcome to do what we all do in real life, which is suck up. I'm sure Jessica would welcome the opportunity to be pampered, to have her character pampered, somebody to shine the horns and polish them, and help polish the armor and make sure everything's all nice and tidy. In fact, we can even role play that out. That'd be quite funny. How does Story feel about all this extra sudden attention?
I mean, like, if I guess she's catching people staring at her for a bit, she'd just be like, you're welcome. As she cleans up her ritual identifying space.
Story.
Yes?
Would you be willing to use that wish spell you were given to put a demon in a box? Or 2 demons? Maybe. Possibly.
Well,
Get them
that
out of
is
the way.
this is so we this is the turn of events. I mean, I'm not against it, to be sure. Although
To be sure.
Riel did say that this was supposed to be something that Bane could be particular, and that well, I think it might just be wise to hold on to it for a little while.
Yeah, what's in it for you?
No more Zuckmoy.
Yeah, but I mean, did Zuckmoy do anything to Story?
She might end up doing so.
Well, I mean, in the long run, we're
Bridge
all
when we
dead.
get to it.
Yeah, we'll burn that bridge when we get to it, as you guys would probably say now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just thinking, wish Zuckmoy and her boyfriend out of existence.
Yeah, if only we could do that to all I had a cable guy come the other day fixing something. I wished he could be wished out of existence.
Wow.
It's aggressive.
Well, he
It is, isn't
trust me,
it?
this guy was not. He was very rude. We'll leave it at that. Right. So, Story's got a special one-time ability, and she could certainly cash it in at least for a ton of money. Although that seems a bit banal, considering all the other things you might be able to do with something like that.
It does, but it is on the list.
It's got to be part of the discussion, right? How much is 25,000 gold pieces? 25,000 gold pieces is a pile big enough that you could Scrooge McDuck swan dive into and swim around in.
Just like to do that once.
It's on my bucket list.
Yeah, well, you guys had quite a lot, and
No, I mean in real life. I don't mean in the game. I mean in real life, to have notes there rather than coins, because that could be a bit painful.
Do you think it would hurt swan diving into it?
I did that once. I did that with pound notes, and I tell you, it was not as much fun as you think.
I've played poker with.
Floor.
I had a friend of mine was a gun dealer, and he sold a couple of guns. This is long before major restrictions that we have now, for 30 grand, and we sat and played poker with his 30 grand, and it was awesome. That was
Who won?
Oh well, he had his money back, but we were only playing for fun. But it was.
What did you get up
bizarre.
to in your childhood?
What did I get up to in my childhood?
That sounds rather like mob-esque.
Yeah. You know, Maddie, Jo, she comes from, the age where you actually earned your tattoos.
Oh, in prison.
You didn't just show up at the store and order the number 2 special supersized.
You had to fight for it out in the wilderness.
Not talking about.
They were a badge of honor. I bet in real life, Jo's got like 4 teardrop tattoos under her left eye. Like the last one was a murder by meatball.
Oh my God.
Suffocated somebody to death by shoving meatballs repeatedly in all their breathing orifices.
Oh gosh, that sounds painful,
Oh God.
but delicious.
Sorry, Jo. I'm not. I don't mean to defame you. I'm just,
The last smell they ever smell is a meatball.
I think my actual real life is now quite disappointing.
Oh,
Not if
All
you
right.
not if you lived it.
Yeah. I don't know how we ended up on this tangent, but anyway,
Wish spell.
poker.
wish spell, right? Exactly. Anything is possible with the wish spell. Yeah. So, what do you guys want to do now?
The
We want to
Paladin's
explore.
skull. Paladin's skull.
Everybody can take your little red dots off because you're no longer injured if you've recovered from your. I'll do a couple of you, but the rest of you can do your own.
Did we take a short rest?
No, we took a long rest.
No, we took a long rest.
Even the people who were like taking spells?
Yes. So the way I've done it is in game. You've actually taken 24 hours.
Okay, cool.
So you've taken a whole day just
Thank
hanging
goodness.
out amongst all these corpses and half-finished mummies, little jars full of preserved entrails. Right.
We have ransacked the room as well.
Yeah, I mean, well, you'll have to I'm not one of these, okay, you kill the bad guy and let me just read off the inventory list. If you guys find it, you find it. If you don't find it, what can I do?
I already have something I want to do.
Me too.
All right, well,
Paladin,
mhm.
can I take his skull, smash it, and then throw the bits in the river?
You mean Cullen?
Yes.
What paladin? You've got you're the paladin over.
Me.
Yeah, let's be careful which paladin.
Yeah,
Cullen Ironhammer.
This is-
I am not going to murder my party member. I'm
When I
going
think
to
of the
make sure
paladin,
Cullen Ironhammer does not come back.
When I think of the paladin, I think of Dallin.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I did. I was a bit confused.
Like, oh geez, I didn't know you
Kill
didn't
our
like her.
party member. Let's go.
No, I've gone completely. I've gone full evil villain. I'm just
Man,
going,
you think
Completely
that
off the
I'm
rails.
real serious.
I was gonna say, if there is this much of a palpable shift in the air, maybe we should all just take a step back from each other.
Just take a breather.
Like, geez, you work with one lich kid.
yeah.
meanwhile, Jo's breaking out her Tupperware, or Cora's breaking out her Tupperware lunchbox and spinning a couple of meatballs threateningly in her hands.
Okay.
Like, don't come near me. You'll get it. Serves up.
Extra garlic, baby. Okay. Yeah, so Clarissa is kind of bored. And occasionally she walks around and tries to, She gets a little bit too close to people on occasion, not respecting people's personal space.
No.
You smell nice.
No.
No, you've had some of me. You're not having any more.
Oh, you're no fun. I think the light spell, unless you're keeping it up, is probably gone.
Oh, yes.
So your Dragonborn is in the dark.
I'll just say that throughout this period, I'll just periodically cast light on a pebble, so at least I can see.
Sure.
I have torches. I'll give a torch to.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you, Tara. What's wrong with good old-fashioned torches? Everybody's got to go fancy and schmancy with their spells and cantrips.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I do use magic to light it, but yeah, I'm gonna give her a torch.
No, for God's sake. Honestly.
And I'd like to say, hopefully within the last 24 hours, they'd pop me up on the current situation so we don't have to roleplay it a third time.
Sure.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'm just gonna be chilling here in the corner, quite honestly.
Is it a chest, or is it like a
It's
throne?
a chest.
It's a chest?
Yeah, see.
I'd like to look in the chest.
So yeah, me too.
Goblin.
And I'd like to see what's here as well. And what's in
go
these.
chill with the new girl.
Get some QT.
Hello.
I'll look at her and be like, kind of awkwardly, nice horns. What did I do?
It's like the two of you. Does like one of you have horn envy? The one's got like tail envy.
Right.
Does Dallin still have a tail?
It's been 24 hours. No, the tail has disappeared. The wings and the tail have disappeared, and Cora's lips are no longer blue.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure.
Right. Okay.
That feels like a very long time ago, but it's actually only a day.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, so before we do anything else, so we've got two people up in the upper right-hand corner having a chill. We've got our monkey wizard, our cleric, our wizard, and is that everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh, and Dallin is hanging out still in the old position with her new mount.
Yes, trying to get to know him.
Is there like a nickname? Please don't let it be Foxy. Foxy.
Just Rim.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me. I feel like I've regressed to being sort of 13 years old.
Or Bob.
Not much better. Honestly. Okay, cool. So one thing you notice about Rim Foxy is that as you become closer, as you come closer together spiritually and sort of, getting to know each other on a real personal level, there's something about him. He's not your typical fey creature turned into a riding mount. In fact, there's a darker angle to him. And you think, actually, he's a bound fiend of some sort. But there is this other aspect of him that eludes you, and that is, at a minimum, he doesn't seem to fully understand what he is. Perhaps the right catalyst, or some magic, or an event, or something that jogs a memory or awakens something deep within him. there is definitely an edge, unlike what you felt when you summoned Sleipnir originally.
Mm.
She allowed to have 2 mounts, so she can ride it like the old cowboys with one on each on foot.
I don't know if that's specifically an old cowboy thing.
I don't think so.
Is it?
It's more like a circus this thing.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fair.
I was gonna say, I think cowboys kept their butts would prefer to keep.
Maybe
their
I'm thinking of the gladiators.
fairly
Maybe
secure.
that's what I'm thinking of.
I think you're thinking of chariots.
Yes, I think that is what I'm thinking of.
Gladiators.
Although that would be pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, they had 2 horses in front of them.
Well, no, I know how a chariot works. But I was imagining like they had both the reins in one hand, a foot on each, and then they just have the sword, and they're like shoom shoom.
Well, there are stunt people who do tricks like that.
Dope.
And the
Yeah,
circus.
I'm pretty sure there's a couple of Western movies where like the stagecoach breaks away from the horses that are pulling it, and somebody has to try to get on top of the horses to try to steer them back. And
Mm-hmm.
somewhere between all of those movies, somebody stood on 2 horses at the same time, like a out of control equine water skier. Yeah. So okay. So the rest of you are checking out this chest.
Mm-hmm.
Can I check out what's here and here?
Okay. So
Well,
who
well,
wants to go first and do what?
Corey, you can go first.
Okay. I don't mind.
I thought we already did that bit though. I thought
Found the shield.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
The
wasn't
Cyric
that
shield. +1 shield.
I
Yes.
found firewood.
Yeah,
It's
Tara
not-
found it.
It's not firewood.
It's firewood.
No, it's a +1.
Yeah, it's a +1 shield. It's a
Yeah.
+1 shield with the symbol of Bane on it, or Cyric rather.
Oh, that's right. I've forgotten about that.
A bit of paint will fix that.
Oh, yeah, you can try.
We could certainly try.
I mean,
I
Fair
don't
enough,
need
then.
it though.
no one's
Someone else
seen or
can.
heard from Cyric in over 100 years. So yeah, you might get lucky.
I'm gonna put it in.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so you're checking that. Oh yes, we didn't talk about what this is. The
It
Damn
looks so
Pichu.
silly.
did you guys look at that in detail?
Yeah.
It was something that somebody was wearing as a shoe.
Yeah, the mummy.
It was the
Yeah, the mummy
Uh,
was.
It was the mummy.
Yeah.
We went a bit Luke Goblin at the end of last week.
Mhm. Yeah. So they are a magical pair of shoes that they will allow the wearer to, using a special command, alter the footprints they leave behind to mimic that of any common
Oh.
creature or humanoid.
Interesting.
Anything else?
The
Is
thing
that-
that Cullen put on.
Sorry.
Just a
Step
quick
on.
question. I just had a quick wanted a quick verification for the boots. So when it says like any creature, does it have to be a bipedal creature like the wearer, or like if you wanted to say make wolf prints in the snow or dirt or what have you, could you do that as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So you can put the shoes on as a tiefling, and then walk in the snow or in the sand and leave paw prints behind. But you still only have 2 feet.
Okay.
And
All right.
two
So it
shoes.
does. So it doesn't like replicate a 4-beat step. It would still just replicate. It's just in the place where your foot is going, it would leave a paw print instead.
Yeah, but you'd
Okay.
have to be I think mechanically the way I would it doesn't say it in detail, but the way I would execute it mechanically is if somebody had proficiency in survival, they would have advantage on their check to determine whether or not this was essentially created by an unnatural source.
Gotcha.
So it's like you'd have to beat the survival check by 5. So a survival check would tell somebody that these were the paw prints of a bear. A survival check plus 5 would mean that they would be able to discern that it doesn't look right for a bear. Okay. All right. Yeah. So Satina is up. Satina's fully locked and loaded.
I want to check out this chest.
You're going to check out this chest.
Mhm.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Do you want to just go up to it and pop it open?
Does it have a lock on it?
Yeah, it looks like it's got a lock. It's got like it's got a little lock on it as well as a latch, and it looks very ornate. It looks ceremonial. The latch and the lock don't look particularly imposing.
This is going to sound stupid. Does the lock seem locked?
It is locked. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, from what you can tell of what locks look like, it's not like an open lock. It's a closed lock. It's a fair question.
Let's see. Can I try and pick the lock with my dagger?
Sure.
Can I detect magic first?
Idea.
Sure. You're gonna cast the ritual spell?
Yeah.
Okay. Just post it in the chat again.
1 second.
Henrietta, Dallin doesn't want to use the +1 shield?
Mm. Yeah, I can take it on my back. I usually use my great axe now, but I can have it. I can.
Okay. Right. So where is Joe? Joe, where is Cora, rather? Okay. So 30 feet is... Okay. You don't see anything glowing other than what's on Satina, because I think all these other items are no longer next to you guys. I put that there just to keep them from blocking things up, but that's not there. Right. Now, the chest itself isn't glowing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't something inside that's magical, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was trying to look for like a glyph of warding. Or something like
yeah,
that.
there's no
so it didn't
magical
blow
ward.
up if we opened it.
Yeah, there's...
Good looking out.
Would I do that to you?
You have done
yes.
that to us.
Well, I mean, it
Several
wasn't
times now.
rhetorical. Okay,
Cora
no
is
need to-
petrified of opening a book because of it.
And
told
last
you,
time we
look-
opened a chest, it turned out to be a crypt. So
Yeah. Well,
but this one doesn't look like a.
it wasn't a chest. It was a coffin. It was an actual.
Was it a coffin?
It was an actual sarcophagus.
I thought it was a chest.
You mean the one over here
This
with
whole
the
time.
centaur mummies?
No. The one from the last map that we were on
Oh.
with the
Yeah.
with the little baby.
Yes. Well, that had a coffin in it. It wasn't a coffin itself.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
It's an illusion.
Okay.
Not crazy.
Yeah. So there's no detect magic. The detect magic doesn't yield anything.
Cool.
Okay,
Obvious.
well, still gonna back up a little bit.
Like
Hiding
all
behind
the
a sarcophagus.
yeah, well, I loved it. Cora's just gonna back up all the way over here.
Where the hell did you put me?
I put you all the way outside.
Oh, all the way back
there. Hiding behind its barrel.
I didn't realise there was a barrel there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a barrel. All right, and Ellie, you're standing right there.
Kind of crouched behind a sarcophagus, peering over the top.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys really instill a lot of. That's a turn order.
It is.
Oh,
I haven't touched
I was
it
gonna
yet.
say that I was gonna talk to the horse and tell him what usually happens when and
Turn order go.
As you, well, I got rid of it.
It's
As you
mimic.
stick your-
Ew.
as you stick your dagger into the lock, the entire front of the chest suddenly moves, and an endless amount of teeth just wrap themselves around your arm.
Wonderful.
just rested.
Cool.
Well, you should
So-
be fine then.
Should we roll initiative?
Well, I think he's going to get a surprise on you for. you know,
Yeah. No,
Yes.
I that's fair.
it literally is undetectable while it's motionless. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
So it is going to do 10 points of biting damage and 6 points of acid damage as your arm is basically turned into a chicken satay, a dwarven
Oof.
satay.
Dwarven satay.
Yeah. All right. And that's Mr. Mimic to you, because he's a big one. He's a big one. But he will go last. Okay. So obviously anybody who wants to get involved can do so, but you're under no compulsion. I mean, you know,
Oh, as if we're not.
she's
on.
she's got to learn her lessons. You know, that's how the rest of
Satina
us survive to
screams.
old age.
And here I was trying to have a conversation with Meridian.
You can continue your conversation. It's okay. But Satina definitely screams.
Yeah, don't let an amputation, you know, interfere with your socializing.
I feel like I feel like I should roll initiative. Just never mind. Nope, I'm good. I think I'm
Wait,
I'm
can-
gonna stay put.
Oh wait, is it too late to charge the Helm of the Gods?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck.
You're in initiative.
We're getting it.
I mean, come on, Maddie.
I took a long rest.
Try out new spells.
If your memory is this bad at this age, I don't know what you're going to be like when you get to my age.
I won't be
Who am
able to
I
remember my
again?
name.
Holy cow.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness.
Have you had your pint of cream today, Maddie?
What the hell is a pint of cream?
For your catty remark.
You know, actually, cats, when they become adults, they become lactose intolerant.
One.
Yes, they do actually.
Well, that would
But
they
explain the horrible
still-
farting.
They still like cream though.
Yeah. No, I mean, most animals like things that they shouldn't have.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's a bit like you know, as humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really shouldn't be spending this much time with you lot, but I can't help myself.
You love us so much.
I do. You're quite addictive, all of you, each in your own way. All right. So, as usual, our monk goes first.
Wait, hold on. As my reaction, can I do absorb elements for the acid
Well-
damage?
Yeah. So the funny thing about being surprised is you don't get a reaction.
Fuck. Okay.
I was hoping I could try out my new spell, Chromatic Orb.
You may. Do you have a 50 GP diamond?
Does anyone have any diamonds?
Yeah.
Quick, use the wish spell.
Yeah.
For 50
So
GP
weird,
diamond.
It's really annoying because it doesn't. Never, when I was looking up this spell, because it isn't in the thing, it said you specifically need a diamond. It just
It
said
does-
diamond is a material component. It doesn't say you need this and you can't use.
It says so in
focus.
roll. I'm pretty sure it says so in roll 20 as well as in. Yeah, so it says so in
I-
roll 20 D&D Beyond and my player's handbook. So I'm not sure
Yeah.
what source you're using.
I
So,
had to
yeah.
program it in myself, so eventually
Alright.
I was getting so frustrated. I just
Okay.
Yeah.
So the way it works is I'm not going to make it really hard for you to find these things,
Yeah.
but there is a certain element of you do have to.
I was going through so many different sources,
Okay.
just trying to find the information, and eventually resorted to the spell cards I've got.
Very good.
So yeah,
So they're
Right.
not going to be hard to find, but as with all of these things, the spell focus, things like a little bit of web, a small piece of leather, that the spell focus can replace that. Anything that's a little bit unusual, if it's listed as a valuable object, you'll have to have it made, or you'll have to find it or purchase it somewhere.
okay.
Okay,
That's
cool.
kinda- yeah, I'm just gonna leap over the sarcophagus and hit it. Then
Yeah, go for it.
22 to hit with 8 bludgeoning.
Yes, you are on Whisper, just FYI, but that's fine. I can see it. Yeah, so 22 will hit.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem.
Um,
You bop it. If it had a nose, you would have jammed your staff right up one of its nostrils.
and can I kick it? I want to kick it in the eyes. I want to kick and punch it in the eyes. So I'm going to burn a key point, and
Go for the eyes, boo!
I'm going to poke the eyes out
Nobody knows mince.
with two unarmed strikes. That's a miss. That's an 18 to hit.
Okay. Yeah. So the second attack will also hit. Well
Yep.
done. Yeah.
And because those are both melee
I don't thi-
attacks,
I don't think
I
it
have
technically has
mobile.
eyes, but yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to jump back over the sarcophagus and just go, hide.
Okay.
Drop down.
Cool. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Cora,
Okay.
your
Here.
instincts were proven right.
I am
with-
going to use Guiding Bolt on this dude. $22.
Oh yeah, that'll hit. Wow, what's all the now you guys roll all these high when it's like 5-on-1.
Yeah, but I had 2 1s out of 4 D6s.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Anything else for Cora?
No. I am
With-
going to use Guiding Bolt on this dude. $22.
Oh yeah, that'll hit. Wow, what's all the now you guys roll all these high when it's like 5-on-1.
Yeah, but I had 2 1s out of 4 D6s.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Anything else for Cora?
No. She's
Okay.
going to stay put. Okay, I can't hear anyone.
Yeah.
Yep,
I
we
can
can-
Sorry.
I also for a second lost everyone.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can hear you
Okay.
now.
All right. Dallin?
Yes, let's see. I'm gonna move because I'm way back. I'm gonna dash over here, 70 feet, and take out my great axe.
All right.
It's me.
Your horse whinnies behind you, but because he's mostly decomposed, it just comes out as like And there's a little bit of detritus that sort of lands on the back of your neck.
No.
It's-
Nice.
feels
Six.
a bit cold and slimy, and it
As I run,
smells.
I'm just gonna say, stay. I'm not gonna kill another horse the first day.
Off to a great start.
Um,
All right, Satina.
Okay, I'm going to use Burning Hands. It's a 15-foot cone from myself, so that should be fine, right? Or would that be a disadvantage?
Post it in the chat, but it's a melee spell, isn't it?
I
Is
think
it a
so,
melee
yeah,
attack?
because it's
I
a
think it's a saving
15-foot
throw.
cone from myself.
It's a saving throw.
Saving throw, yeah. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so go ahead and roll his save.
Okie dokie.
Dexterity, probably not his strong suit. Oh, actually,
Well-
he's not bad for
my.
dexterity, actually. Yeah, this it just kind of wiggles out of the way,
Damn.
So
and you
it's
just
off.
go. So it takes a little bit of damage.
A surprisingly dexterous box.
It grows legs.
Very
And then
good.
I'm going to move, which if it does an opportunity attack, that I understand. I'm going to move
Mhm.
backwards.
Well, it's definitely going to do that because why wouldn't it?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so it's going to attack you with a pseudopod that lashes out.
Ew.
Yeah. Let's roll an attack. Jessica, since you're out of the combat, why don't you roll?
Alrighty.
All right.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh,
And this thing just sort of, it's a pseudopod, so it doesn't
Yeah.
have to look like a tongue, but it basically just wraps around you and it just sticks to your face and your body
Ew.
and your hair, your beard, one of your arms is stuck in it. You also take 10 points of bludgeoning damage
Oh my god.
as it whips you around.
How much?
Okie dokie. 10.
Yeah. Nice. What is your armor class normally?
11.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I hadn't put my mage armor on, so
Always put on the mage armor.
I know. I forgot to. I didn't think that we would be in combat so fast.
Well, Meridian hears some scuffling going on, but can't see. I mean, she is holding her pebble, but it doesn't go that far.
And you heard a scream.
Yeah. So I will move up as far as I can. And
You heard a scream, and you also heard a.
and you saw me
Alright.
run.
just to see what's going on, I will move up again and toss my little light pebble I had kept up so I could see as far
Okay.
as I can.
Yeah, so you can definitely throw it 60 feet.
Yeah.
Let's see, where would 60 feet be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
So
9.
bright light in a 20-foot
12.
radius, and then
So
light for another.
we'll say it's somewhere around here.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Mr. Mimic. Since he's got somebody grappled. He will attack you again,
Fair.
and he's gonna bite you again.
Oh no.
Oh
Wow.
yes. Yeah. Tara and Joe. Sorry, just Tara. Would you roll with advantage?
With advantage.
Advantage.
When Meridian gets up, can Story join in at the end of the turn order?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Absorb
No!
elements now.
Well,
Oh
That-
my god.
The double crit. The
Oh,
dreaded double
no.
crit. I feel like this is one of those moments where like you see that guy at the county fair where he takes a chicken drumstick and he holds it really daintily at one end and puts the entire piece into his mouth and then withdraws just the bone,
Yeah.
taking all of the meat off in one move, including the cartilage. Right. So, now the good news is I know you have enough hit points that this is not an insta-kill. The bad news, it's going to be 18 hit points from bludgeoning plus another 12 from acid.
Oh my god!
But you can use your reaction if you want.
Yes,
this time.
I do.
So you'll reduce the acid by 6.
Oh, I can cast this at other levels? That's cool. I'm just gonna do level 1. So what does insta-kill mean again?
Well, it has to go. So once you get to 0, the leftover damage will have to equal your maximum hit point total or exceed it.
Okay, cool.
So I don't. Are you even unconscious yet? I'm not sure you're unconscious
yet. I am very unconscious.
Oh, are you? Are you unconscious from the
yes,
bludgeoning?
I am.
Okay, so the acid is basically going to be separate source of damage. So that's a death save failure.
To a great start.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and the rest of you are watching as you can see just most of Satina's skin just comes right off of her body, along with 70% of her beard.
Please kill this thing, guys.
It's like you've been nared all over. Ellie.
If only I had a diamond.
Is it possible at some point to roll in?
Oh yeah. You can roll in now.
Okay. I'm just gonna fling 3 magic missiles at this thing. 1, 2, 3.
So, how much is that altogether?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is a terrible roll. Why roll 20? Why?
That's all right. It happens. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anything else?
I'm just gonna. Does Maddie? Do you have inspiration?
Nope.
Do you want my inspiration for your next death save?
If you're willing to give it.
Okay. There you go.
Thanks.
If she doesn't get healed, I'll give her my inspiration. I'll stay behind the box.
Jessica, why don't we have you go next, and then we'll do Cora.
All right. I'm just gonna move up, and I don't think I'm in range. Nope. So, for the moment, I will move up, and I will dash. Let's see here. What is going on? That's it.
Okay. And Cora.
Okay, I am going to use my bonus action.
We disabled the buzzing as well. Sorry to whoever's phone is getting text messages.
Not mine.
No.
So I'm going to use my bonus action to Healing Word. I'm hoping at level 4.
Okay.
which gives 22 hit points
Ooh.
to Satina.
Thank you. Jeez Louise.
You're welcome. And then I am going to use my action.
You see
And
her beard suddenly just start sprouting like a tree.
And I'm going to toll the dead this SOB. And hope that I roll low on his saving throw.
Mhm.
So given it's a DC 16 now, and that's a 7, I'm assuming that hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. 16 necrotic.
Okay. Yeah. Bong. You all hear. Very good. Dallin.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna move up and I'm gonna hit him with my great axe.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, that'll hit.
12. And I'm gonna hit him again.
Okay.
I remembered. Yay!
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Nice.
Another 5.
Yeah. Well, it's oozing purple blood from all these various wounds now. Okay. Satina, you are prone but
Mhm.
awake.
Yep. I'm going to use half my movement to stand up. Is that okay? Or am I still grappled?
Well, I don't know that he would have dropped the grapple.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
I mean, he hasn't had a chance to attack anybody else yet.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. So can I use at disadvantage? Can I use my acid splash, like kind of downward, so it's like at him and the tendril?
I mean, mechanically, you can certainly attack him with acid splash. If you're trying to use an action to break free, that's basically you're trying to break free of a grapple. So I'll let you use acid splash to help you with your grapple attempt, but it's essentially just breaking free of the grapple. So you're not really attacking him.
Okay. Yeah, I want to do that.
Assuming acid splash does anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hoping. Here's to hoping.
Okay. Yep. You are also on.
Yeah, I see it.
No problem. That's okay.
So DC 14. Oh, wrong thing. Okay.
So the acid splash splashes all over it, and it kind of just licks it up and goes.
Ugh. Gross. Okay, that's fine.
And there's a slight shiver through the pseudopod. You almost kind of feel like he's reacting like somebody put a really nice and spicy barbecue wing in front of him.
Wonderful. I'm going to move up.
Why I'm so fixated on chicken today.
So I can see what's going on, and
you can see it from back there.
Hmm?
You could see it from back there.
I know. Oh well, okay. What I'm gonna do is I'll go back just so I'm kind of behind this tomb. Meridian doesn't really want to get involved, but especially with the alignment change, sees this as her new compatriots are meat shield, and she wants to get out of here alive, so she can't have them die. And it's gonna cast Firebolt.
Right, but of course, if somebody does die, can I have that?
Of course.
You're not going to need it, right? Yeah. Strikes it square in the center and leaves a scorch mark.
Lovely.
Yeah. I mean, this thing's definitely injured now. You can see like purple bits oozing from various holes and burns. Anything else for Meridian?
Nope, that's my turn.
Okay. Ooh. Well, he's still grappling Satina, so I mean, Satina is the most obvious meal.
Mm-hmm.
He'll move away. Well, no, I guess he wouldn't move away from Dallin. He'll bite Satina.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Emma, roll with advantage.
When I go to see if when I see him go to do that, if he's making an attack, I'd like to use my cutting words to just be like, seriously, a flump wielding a dandelion is more threatening.
Can you post the cutting words in the chat, please?
Yes, if it's immune to charm, it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it has no ears. But I'm trying.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to figure out whether or not it needs to actually understand. A lot of these things they don't need to understand, but when a creature you see makes tackle, yeah, it doesn't say anything, does it?
It says if it can't hear or it's immune to being charmed.
Yeah. Well,
So
it definitely can
like,
hear. Okay.
Hey, over here, you big love. You're less threatening than a flump wielding a dandelion. She's just like snapping her fingers like, hey, nope, don't you dare.
Very good. Okay, yeah. So your bardic inspiration die currently is D6?
Yes.
Okay. So you rolled 18 and 16 minus 1, so that'll be 17. So it's another 10 points of bite damage, piercing damage, and another 6 points of acid damage.
Okay. Whew, we're still kicking.
All right. And Story, your turn.
Oh, I didn't mean to hit that. I'm sorry.
That's right.
We'll continue just with like, seriously, I've seen more threatening geckos for a vicious mockery.
Does the dragon board like look at you?
I'm laughing a little bit.
Like, really, geckos? As a member of the reptilian races.
It's a little funny.
All right. Okay. Yeah. He's too busy snacking on his chicken lunch.
Manages to avoid that one.
Yeah, that devastating one. Well, sooner or later it'll add up.
Hey, with 4 insults, I can kill a commoner. So there we go.
True.
Well,
It'd be nice in real life sometimes.
I feel like Jessica's clever enough that she could probably do that in one insult in real life. If she was suitably motivated. Tara, what does Ellie do?
I'm going to move over to Satina and help pull her free of Big, Mean, and Squishy.
Okay, so you're going to try to break the grapple for her?
Yeah, I'm going to try and break the grapple for her.
Okay, well, so essentially it's going to be a contested strength check in this case. So you go ahead and roll your strength. Maddie, do you want to roll for the mimic?
All right, I can. Yes.
So you managed to break Satina away, and if you want to drag her away, you can take her away at half speed.
See.
Where are you going?
I'm working out distances because I can move 55 feet.
Yeah, but you're at half speed now.
Yeah. I'm just going to move back to here.
Okay. So she'll go with you then.
Yep.
Okay.
Goodness. Thank you.
Get the squishy wizard out of there.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Cora.
I am
Well
going
done,
to use
Tara.
my free item interaction to take out my light crossbow. And I'm going to use my divine strike with it and aim for him. 17?
Yeah, what's Divine Strike?
I'll post it in the chat, both.
Always post it in the chat. Always, always, always. Judy, Judy, Judy.
At least I would if I actually have it. I've only got it set up as a damage modifier.
No, no good.
No, it's not.
You've got to have it in your features. Otherwise, I can't see that
I
you can do it.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna find it.
Well, what is it supposed to do?
If you are using a weapon, it gives 1d8 of extra damage.
And is it your divine? What is it called?
It's my divine domain feature, if you like, from leveling
But it's a
up.
bonus action, or what?
It's a good question.
You use
This
a
is
spell
why.
slot.
Is the spell?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but is it a bonus action spell?
It doesn't say. It just says when you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you can expend 1 spell slot to deal radiant damage to the target. In addition,
a melee weapon.
Yeah.
Missed that one.
Yeah. So in order to avoid these kinds of things, if you haven't got it on your character sheet, we'll just not use it. You need to. It's there. The character sheet's good. A good way to keep track of stuff, so we don't get bogged down. But anyway, the 17 will hit for 5 damage.
But if it's a melee weapon, I can't use it.
Right. But I'm saying in general, if somebody forgets to put something on their character sheet, in order so that we don't get bogged down looking up rules at the table, they don't have it for that session until they've updated their character sheet properly.
Okay.
It's not specific to you. This is just a general rule, right? I think I've talked about this before. Okay, so yeah, the light crossbow goes whistling by Dallin. Dallin looks back enviously and then back down at her rather nasty bow that she took off of one of the undead warriors earlier.
Well, it's clean now.
Oh, that's right. It's clean now.
It's just old.
Just old and rather battered. Oh. But you've got a nice shiny shield.
I do.
All right. Anything else for Cora?
No, that's it.
Okay. Dallin.
I'm gonna hit him.
Yeah.
Or try to.
It's easy to hit. Yeah, that'll do.
12.
Yep.
And one more time. Go.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lot.
It is. It's almost a crit on the damage. And on the roll, actually.
And as you cleave it with your battle axe, it splits in half, and all kinds of bizarre, nasty-looking internal organs spill out. Awful meats, things you just don't recognize. An intestine as long as probably half this room, and a few shiny objects.
Ooh. I scooped them up.
You do?
No.
Is one of them a diamond?
Yeah, it's a diamond.
That would be too easy.
If it was, I was going to put it in my pocket.
Well, you will take 6 points of acid damage unless you roll a Constitution save.
Constitution. There you are. 9.
Yeah, so that'll be 6.
Yep.
So what you've managed to collect are 3 vials of a red liquid.
Mm.
And let's see. Why don't you roll a let's see. I'm just trying to figure out what the right approach is.
Mm-hmm.
Roll perception first.
Perception. Okay.
and if you get a 20 or higher, you might find a diamond. Oh, there is a diamond.
Yes.
No. I put it in my pocket.
Give me. I need it for my spells.
Sure.
You're not the only one with spells, homie.
How much is it worth, the diamond?
Roll a D100.
Ooh. D100. What?
Wow.
No way!
Fantastic.
No way!
Dude, what is up with your rolls?
There's no way.
Yes.
Literally
Yes,
a 1% chance of that happening.
Yeah.
First 2 natural 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
You guys should definitely go to some casino right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Okay, logging off.
Give me the diamond. I need the diamond. Yeah.
Depends how much it's worth.
Well, it's worth 100.
Okay.
It's my chromatic orb spell.
Yeah,
Also
but
have
if
chromatic
it was
orb.
worth more, then Cora should have it for resurrection. But if it's 100, you can have it.
I need a diamond worth 50 gold pieces.
Yeah.
If it's
Yeah,
ever
that's-
needed for something else, I will happily let.
I think
Someone else.
resurrection spells is
Yeah.
350 or something, and 500, isn't it?
Double
Yeah,
check
it's
spells.
300, I think, for
Yeah.
Revivify.
Although with inflation nowadays.
Yeah.
But I mean, is a scuffle going to break out between the wizard that took all the damage and lost most of her beard, who also
Mhm.
could use a diamond, and the monk that only kind of plays a wizard part time?
Can
Because
we
I
cut it
also
in
have
half?
chromatic orb.
As the party move ever so close, ever so slightly towards evil and selfishness.
You can take turns.
Me,
No
That's the lawful approach. You
We
can take turns.
have it. We
I
take
can
turns.
upcast it with a higher level spell slot, but I can survive longer. I called it
So Tina
first.
can have it. So Tina can have it today. I'll have it tomorrow.
Yeah,
We'll
we're
take
not doing
turns.
that.
What about Dalin's idea of splitting it in half? Would
Yeah.
that work? It's still a
Possible.
diamond.
And you
That's
get
what
250 GP diamonds because it's
Exactly
worth
right.
100.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's actually a really good idea.
It is a good idea, but you know what? I'll tell you this. This is how it works in real life, and since we don't have a real model for this in the game, I'll do this. There's a very, very high probability that when you split a diamond that's worth more, that you ruin the value of it. So you can try it, and you might succeed. I'll even let you potentially split it in a way that could be worth more than the 100 gold pieces currently, but there's going to be a higher probability that you reduce the value. You might end up with a diamond, 2 parts of a diamond, or more than 2 parts of a diamond, with one part being worth more than 50 GP, but the other part might be worth less or 0.
Okay.
Or you can end up in a position where, the 2 halves are worthless or worth very, very little.
I think we should just try and find another one.
Yeah.
That'd probably be the best option. But I'm not really a big gambler, so I think
If
that
it-
might have something to do with it.
The only way I'd let you guys do it is if one of you had the background as some sort of a craftsman that had to do with jewelry or gem cutting or something along those lines. In which
Yeah.
case, I would say
I don't.
that's pretty much automatic.
Yeah.
Because that's essentially what you're doing.
Unless I can make it into a beer, then I'm not helpful.
Right. Emma, how does Meridian feel about all the squabbling amongst your newfound party members?
Honestly, looking at the diamond a little enviously.
Ooh, something shiny. Oh, I never noticed that before.
Hey.
Ellie hisses at Clarissa. Like,
Did you hiss at people in school?
actually, not people in school. I was too anxious for that, but me and my friends used to bark at each other.
Okay.
We were very weird people.
What do you mean were?
We are. Honestly, we still are.
I don't get this were business like you grew up or something.
Echologia is a very fun thing to have.
All right, so you've managed to find a couple of vials, 3 actually. They have reddish liquid in them, and you've got a diamond and an assortment of gold and silver coins as well. There is, in fact, underneath the carcass of this thing, which you will see after you've been fishing around inside the internal guts of it, a catchment. So there is actually a space underneath that has a small chest. It's not very large. It's literally the size of a bread box.
Okay. We learned one thing here.
As Satina stands all the way back here.
She's like, open it, open it, open it.
You open it this time.
Huh. Shall we?
Yes.
I mean, what are
Didn't take
the
the
odds he's
damage
going
for
to do it?
nothing.
What are the odds he's going to do it to us twice in one session?
It's a baby mimic.
Oh my
It's a
god,
baby
could we
mimic.
adopt it?
Yeah, could be the child, right? Why not the
Does it-
offspring?
wanna
Is
pet
it
mimic.
locked? Does it seem locked?
Well, so it's in a recessed hole underneath the corpse of the larger, of the mimic. Are you going to
No.
look down into it, or what? How would you? You have to reach in to pull it out.
Yeah. A dragon lady.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
She has a name.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, even if she can't
Meridian.
remember anybody else's.
Brilliant. You're a spellcaster. Do you have a spell that
Yeah.
can take this out? There's a chest down here.
Let me see.
Just be careful. I read a book once for them, shortly after I met them, and got cursed. So she'll whisper that to her as she walks forward.
Do you have any useful spells?
I have Mage Hand.
I have Mage Hand as well.
Okay.
Oh my
I
god!
will-
Why didn't you use that before?
Because I forgot I had it.
That's what it's for.
I forgot I
That's-
had it.
That is literally what it's for.
Yeah. Okay. Then Satina, can you please get the little chest down here?
Unless
And we're
Meridian
gonna-
wants to.
I'll try.
Yeah. Just back up
So,
first. You
I'm
have some
going to-
distance on it, don't
Yeah,
you?
I'm gonna stand back a little bit
Yeah.
because I can do it from 30 feet away. So I will cast Mage Hand and attempt to get that chest.
Okay. Yes, you managed to lift it out, and as you do, it does become animated,
Of course it does.
and it starts growling and attempting to. Parts of it starts to stretch out, much like the mimic that you just fought.
Is it a
And it
baby
turns-
mimic?
It had a baby.
Can I feed it some of my jerky?
No, we're not keeping it.
Yes, we are.
No. They can
Baby
only end
mimic!
one way.
Do you have a picture for a baby mimic?
I do, but I'm not going to show it to you until you guys decide whether or not you're going to kill it or you're going to keep it alive.
I want to feed it.
Story just kind of calls out we already have one pet still hanging out in a net.
Oh, that's true. We do need to get him.
Yeah.
One
I'm
question.
gonna
Are we
feed
still in
it.
initiative order? Because if not, Meridian is going to immediately, shocked that this thing came alive and uncomfortable with being so close, breathe her frost breath at it.
Good girl.
Oh no!
Go
No!
ahead.
Story immediately likes her.
Go ahead and do your damage.
Wonderful. Okay, 2d6.
Oh,
Yeah, roll a save for the mimic. It turns cold and icy, and it seems to freeze up momentarily, and then it seems to break free of the ice bits, but it is clearly very badly injured.
Don't. I've already thought of a name for it.
No!
I'm already attached.
Oh gosh.
It will eat you the first opportunity it gets!
I'm
we
okay
thought
with
the same
that.
thing about Icicle.
Well, and look what happened to him.
He lost his memory.
And then tried to kill us.
But he didn't while he had his memory.
Oh,
so that
he
counts for
was thinking
something.
about it. He was thinking about it. He just didn't have an opportunity.
Yeah. No, because he did have an opportunity because he bit a chunk out of me and then I bit a chunk out of him. It was a bonding experience.
And then the mimic dies. It freezes and just turns over on its side and turns gray.
Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say as they were bickering, I would have dropped it and cast Ray of Frost at it to finish the job.
It is definitely dead now. It is a frozen piece of mimic meat.
It was so cute.
There, decision made. You're welcome.
Can we still see the picture?
Yeah, I want to see the picture.
All right, well, let's all take a little break so Jessica can go get her vape in. I'm very sympathetic. You guys know I used to take a little cigarette break during sessions. So, yeah. And we'll take a little break, and then we'll resume as the party continues its path down evil and selfishness.
Killing babies.
Killing babies.
It was a baby monster.
It
And
was a baby.
I do not have to be evil to have that preference.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It was a baby.
The adult almost ate Satina.
No, did eat Satina.
You can't blame the children for their parents' mistakes. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
like, so long as you keep them fed, I'm sure they're fine. It could have been very cute.
Well, Satina can roll a history check.
Oh, word? Okay. Word.
Meanwhile, Story just has this if you say so look on her face.
What am I rolling?
And she pats
History.
Merida, Meridian on the. I keep wanting to call you Merida.
15?
Meridian on the shoulder and just says, "I think we'll be friends."
I thought you were about to say you started to pet my horns, and I'm
No.
Yeah, so Satina will know that some of her wizard friends who were a bit more established, because Satina came into the wizarding life a bit late, actually have raised a certain breed of mimic and use them as a kind of guardian of their important possessions. They can be tamed and trained with the right effort, time, and dedication.
I'm going to relay this to the party with a... I'm very upset. My hands are on my hips, and I have the look.
Look, if you're so upset, just go, if that's the case, then I'm sure you can find another one that's maybe bred specifically for the purpose, not just some random dirty monster baby.
We don't...
wild mimic.
Hey, adopt, don't shop, okay? Adopt, don't shop.
Adopt, don't shop.
Wait, why does Story think that this is not bred for that particular purpose? You did literally find it.
Guarding
in a hole.
a treasure.
Guarding a treasure
In an ancient temple.
in an ancient temple for a cleric that
Yeah.
also had magical abilities.
I'm just
You
gonna pet
killed
the
a baby.
baby.
Who's the
Oh,
evil
what-
now?
I didn't kill a baby.
And
I
suddenly,
I mean, just to be clear.
and suddenly she starts distancing herself from the dragonborn that
Yeah.
she was befriending a moment ago.
Friend throws me under the bus.
I still agree with the decision, but I didn't kill it, so don't look at me
Don't look at
Cora.
me. I had nothing to do with it. And then meanwhile, behind like a hand to her face, it's like, you totally did the right thing. I'm with you.
I'm just gonna like pet the dead baby mimic.
Oh my god.
It's sad.
Terrible.
All right. Well,
Well-
Cud, I don't mind. So maybe we should focus our affections on him.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no,
go
that's
to
fair.
my horse and say, I'm not gonna let them hurt you.
Oh,
Oh my god! How could you kill that?
Oh, I forgot.
It's so
Sorry.
cute.
Emma didn't want to. Meridian did.
Oh god.
Oh my god, he's so cute! I can't believe
Yep.
this. I am more upset now.
Taken
Yep.
too soon.
Ugh.
You guys did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Killed that innocent little bean.
I had nothing to do with it.
Truly a
You
neutral
ain't worse.
character.
I mean, innocent is relative.
True. I'll give you that.
Frankly, if
tiny.
it could have killed you, it probably would have. Just saying.
Well,
Only because that's what it was taught that it had to do. And it's a
Oh.
defense mechanism. You see 5 giant people come towards you after just killing your mom, and now just supposed to be like, hey, what's up, guys?
I mean, if it was scared, why couldn't it just continue to pretend to be a box?
Because you picked it up.
A magical hand picked it up out of its bed.
an invisible magical head.
An
So it just
invisible
started to
magical hand.
float.
Well, then isn't
Poor
the wise decision to lean on your disguise? Like really lean into it, right? I'm a box. I'm pretending to be a box, and somebody picks me up, and I'll remain the box until
So
it's
you
obvious
have-
they
you have
know
the
I'm not a
freeze
box.
mechanism? Not
Have
a
you
fight
ever-
or flight?
Have you ever picked up a baby that was taking a nap? That's the first
True,
response. They're
true.
just going to go, "Wah!" and they start flailing. That's literally what he did. He just started flailing.
And then he
And
froze to death.
And then you said, "Shut up! You're making too much noise," and you rattled him. All right. Well, we all know who's got good motherhood genes.
I was
No.
abandoned by my parents. Doesn't
Oh my god!
Welcome to the club.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah,
You know,
sometimes.
gnomes, they have a very strong family unit, so I'm really sorry. I feel for you.
In fairness, that is literally her character's backstory. And we talked about this months and months ago, so I'll totally attest for that. She's sticking to her character type. Role playing it well. You get inspiration for that one. All right. Well, as the recriminations and finger pointing continue, everybody, you can all take a little break. And,
Oh yeah, we were trying to take a break. What, 10, 15 minutes ago?
Yes.
Exactly. As Dallin hides the gigantic undead horse behind her that she knows has got some sort of fiendish background. All right, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Bye. We are back, if everybody else is.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello.
Yep.
Is that Krieger? Very nice. So underneath where the baby mimic was found, you also see a metal device. It looks like a pin or something that could be perhaps hung on a chain as a pendant. And it looks like a beautifully engraved, intertwined flame. Although it's
That's
made
cool.
of metal, it changes, and it almost looks like the fire image is dancing as if it were alive, depending on how you twist it in the light that has been thrown off by our Dragonborn very helpfully. And a small journal, leather bound.
Oh, one moment. Does anyone recognize this symbol?
I know, I sure don't.
Yeah. So you can all roll history or religion.
Oof.
I'm going to exclude myself because I know nothing.
I feel like Cora is slightly letting down the side with that roll. the cleric, you know.
She's distracted by the barrels.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess Satina would actually have some idea.
That was my previous role.
Oh, I see. Right. Well, thank you for being honest. Yeah. I mean, so. Oh, Joe, you rolled twice. Yeah, I didn't mean for you to roll both. Yeah, so this is a little bit of a mystery for the party at the moment. Then there's the journal itself, a dreaded book.
In common, or the language we've been seeing around?
You're opening it to read it?
Absolutely.
Jesus. Haven't heard a thing.
Cora's
If I
running
die,
away.
I die. It's okay.
Cora's running away.
But look,
I
like,
mean, it's literally we've literally done it twice. You know this guy can do it. I'm not going to do it.
appreciate it.
It's supposed to have a glyph of warding on it. But I feel like you just.
I mean,
needed to
I'll
do
do
the
dispel magic, but you know.
Yeah, but I want you guys to get. I'm not chastising you, but there are definitely going to be some more challenging environments that you might end up going through as you get higher and higher level. Don't forget that, you know, if somebody has the ability to protect their belongings and they're powerful enough to do it in a way that's quite impressive, they would definitely do it.
Yeah.
And how many of us have mage hand?
Exactly. Exactly.
I have it, and I know at least 2 other people have it.
It's one of your guys' turn. I
detect
picked up
magic.
Baby screaming chest. Mimic.
Yeah, you did the right thing. And you guys even did the right thing. Just, you know, you could do it again. But the book will, so an explosion of fire goes off, basically. It would capture certainly Satina, and also it'll capture all of you guys right there. We'll skip through it because it's basically just one massive explosion. You take a lot of damage. Okay. So the book itself is written in similar language, but it's a little bit more modern looking than the one you've been reading from with the other book.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's probably related, but it's like a more modern version, and it's probably tied to, you know, something used in Thay. It does also have the signature for Salerno, which you now recognize from all of the other little bits and bobs floating around this place. Your best guess, without actually reading it in detail, is that this may be the Journal of Salerno.
Okay, that makes sense. Mm.
You guys want to cast Comprehend Languages?
Hey, Story!
Say pretty please.
Yeah,
Will
I was
you-
going to say.
Will you please comprehend these languages?
Languages.
Uh,
No comprende.
so she'll hold her hand out for the journal.
Tina gladly hands it over.
After being fireballed again.
Yeah. And I'm
Well,
gonna
at
like
least
peek
at least
over.
I take half damage from that.
Yeah, you probably would have taken quarter damage. Really, it's not that hard. Okay.
And I will take 10 minutes to ritually cast it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be
Languages.
peeking over Story's shoulder to look at the book too.
Okay. So it is a journal that Salerno had kept, and you can tell from the writing that over time it becomes more erratic. Sentences lose their grammatical style, but in the beginning it talks about his journey from his home to his beginnings as an acolyte of Cyric, and how proud he was and how proud his parents were. They were disappointed in the sense that they wanted him to become a red wizard in name as well as in family honor, but following Cyric was an acceptable alternative. But towards the end, you realize he's lost faith because he hasn't heard from Cyric in easily decades. And then he starts to find faith again because he keeps staring into the fire. And you realize that he's worshiping Kasuth, or he was worshiping Kasuth. Now he worships nobody. And that is this symbol. Kasuth is the elemental god of fire.
How'd you spell that?
K-O-S-S-U-T-H. And he felt reinvigorated because he was starting to recover his clerical abilities, albeit with a higher temperature related flavor to his spell selection. He also talks about how much he enjoys barbecue foods all of a sudden.
Yeah, so she reads it herself at first, and then she'll start once she's finished. She's not reading it aloud. We learned a lesson. And then she'll kind of begin relaying that too.
Okay.
Nothing in there about a dragonborn that he found.
Well, there's some more entries. In the back, there are a number of general outpost record keepings, and the outpost record keepings include listing the various members of the party who survived the trip. He talks about the loss of a number of slaves and one of the horses when he initially came into the cavern. But they made good fodder for the undead army that we built up afterward. He discusses Cullen and how Cullen and the rest of the followers were convinced in the final days to take on the voluntary ritual to become Bane's Guard and Cyric Guards. Now, Bane's Guard is a spell that was essentially an altered version of Animate Dead. But the Cyric priests found a way to copy it. And so Cullen and the rest of them decided to become Cyric Guards. They were convinced in the hopes that somehow this would help reinvigorate the connection between Salerno and Cyric. It failed. And as a result, Cullen took the rest of them, and they all left in disappointment. This torque is the means of control. With it, he can maintain control over Cullen as long as Cullen is within a certain distance. But without it, if Cullen were ever to get his hands on it, he would be free to do as he wished.
And he
apparently,
did. Little
and he
bit.
did. Well, he didn't have it on him. You found it here. You found it in this chest up here where the mummy was.
I thought he picked it up
No,
and put it
yeah.
on.
I thought he was
Yeah.
I
burned.
did.
So it turned him into like the Terminator-esque.
Oh, no, sorry. He picked it up, but it was not originally on his person.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, he
Yeah.
found it,
Mm.
put it on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry if that was confusing. Yeah, he didn't have it on his person when you first met him in the village.
No.
Yep. It also talks about the artifact. It lists the artifact as part of the inventory.
It doesn't get any more specific than that. Just the
It's-
artifact, just clarifying.
Yep. It specifically says the artifact as if the reader should know what it refers to.
Hmm.
And it's almost as if the way he refers to it, and it's, again, this is the inventory section of the journal, not the daily journal. If you want to search for it in the daily journal, you'd have to spend some time doing so. But in the inventory portion, it's almost as if it's reverently cryptic.
And what did it
Us.
say about it? The artifact is what?
He has it in his possession, and it is safely secured. And then it is no longer referred to, whereas other items of inventory are there. The reference stops about 30 years ago, according to his records, which are starting to look a little bit dicey already.
The artifact. So there's an artifact somewhere here, is what I'm getting.
Yes, it was definitely part of the inventory when he arrived.
Yeah.
So the inventory when he arrived on a wagon included, let me just pull it up because I had this all statted out in case you guys absolutely needed it. That's the level of detail you guys get. Remember that wagon that you guys had a dream about?
Uh-huh.
No.
Well, yeah, maybe one of you wasn't one or two of you weren't there.
I was playing a turtle called Donatello.
You were. And you did a fine job of it, I must say.
We lasted a pretty long time in the fight.
You did, considering you literally were level 0 characters.
Mm-hmm.
I fell off a
Pre-level.
cliff.
You did. You were the first sacrifice.
Yes. I slipped and fell. Splat.
But you did really well. You guys did really well. You managed to do some damage.
I got to do a cool jump and hurt. Jump
yeah,
attack.
You
It was
did.
dope.
Massive jump attack. Where did it go?
So,
Oh, here it is. Here we
Maybe somebody should ask our vampire lady friend if she knows anything about the artifact
Yeah.
or where it is.
go. Hmm.
I was actually thinking that too.
And
Okay.
meanwhile, I can maybe spend a little time search through the this was in the back, so
Mhm.
well, I have the time. Try and take the remaining hour, however much of the hour is left, to try and see if there are any other references to what it is or what it does,
Mhm.
or where it might be.
And I would
So-
like to ask Story if in the daily logs there's anything mentioning finding me.
Yes.
I'll look for that.
Sorry, I hadn't forgotten about that. So the inventory initially includes 6 barrels consisting of 2 barrels of wine, 2 barrels of beer, 1 barrel of oil, and 1 barrel of acid. It also references several pets and beasts for labor, 1,000 feet of hempen rope, 100 iron spikes, 5 small hammers, 4 grappling hooks, 1 steel mirror, box of writing paper, 4 pots of ink, 10 quills, 3 empty vellum books, 100 days worth of iron rations, 2 tinder boxes, 20 torches, and a chest of priests' robes and vestments for 4 people, 2 sets of splint armor, a number of boards, 40 in total, with the dimensions 2 inches by 6 inches by 16 inches, wooden, camping equipment for 6 people, including tents and blankets, and an assortment of iron pots and pans, as well as 2 unmarked coffins and 1 small reliquary
And a partridge
consisting
in a
of
pear
the
tree.
and a partridge in a pear tree, consisting of the artifact.
Reliquary.
What does reliquary mean?
Like a container for a relic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a container with like a piece of like a saint or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
And
the Ark
that
of
was
the
his
Covenant?
initial inventory.
Okay.
Yeah. This is written in a very clean style. It's one of the first entries in the back of the book. It talks about the slaves as well, referring to each of the slaves, including this one obnoxious turtle that keeps talking about itself in the third person.
Hello.
No. And his concern that he has to keep working to keep them. Morale is flagging, is what he says, as well as 24 men at arms led by Cullen Ironhammer. On top of that, he also specifies that the entire expedition has managed to maintain its level of secrecy in leaving Thay, but he is concerned that he hasn't heard any word from any of his fellow priests or any others of the Thayan movement to try to overthrow or fight back with respect to the attempted coup d'etat by Zastam. One of the pages, there's a thin section of a handful of pages where there seems to be sort of a list of creatures. And at the very end is an ice troll, a minotaur, and a dragonborn.
Interesting.
Is this in the bit where he's starting to go a bit loopy?
Something
Yes, it's
about
all.
a fiend horse.
I mean,
No,
that was specifically Riel's gift, right?
So Riel has given you the horse, and the
Yeah.
horse seemed to be something that he recognized himself. But at the same time, those of you who experienced the dream recall that there was a horse with you.
Yeah, and you said that it probably was that horse, but undead.
Well, the way the spell works, from your understanding of it, is that when you summon the creature, a creature will arrive. It'll fit some general parameters, but it may be influenced by your local surroundings.
Okay. Yeah.
So in the bits about the slaves and Cullen making the covenant and then leaving, is there any mention in there at all that might suggest where Riel came from, or how he was involved in this story, like how he got here?
In Salerno's journal?
Yeah, just curious.
Yeah,
if it mentions anything.
Well, it'll take you several days to read through the entire journal. I mean, this is a journal that up until very recently was fairly meticulous. It's not like a daily journal, but it is a journal that captures, periodic updates for many decades before he loses his mind.
All right, so priorities.
Yeah, so you can certainly get through it. But there is discussion in the beginning about how, they are essentially fleeing, right? They're fleeing a combination of a coup d'etat and a pogrom to wipe out all of the dissenters and, well, they're not rebels. They're really the losers on the side of a revolution.
And Salerno was probably one of the last ones here.
I mean, I really wish Icicle hadn't killed the skeleton wizard guy who was supposedly coming in here all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, we are just kind of assuming he did since he had the book, but...
Mm-hmm.
Mention eating someone.
Death is not really. Death isn't really permanent, and there are spells.
I will admit it is quite fascinating to hear how this man went completely hat stand.
I have never heard that term before.
Well, there was evidence of it in the other room. He was scribbling on the walls apparently when he wasn't scribbling in this. I mean, and when you spend a lot of time alone with dead things, I mean, I feel like that would have a serious effect on one's psyche.
I think so.
Yeah.
I
being
can
abandoned
truly attest
by your
to
god,
that.
by your followers.
Yes, I can attest to that. I mean, they used to lock me in. They used to lock me in a mausoleum when I was little, so it does tend to have an effect on one's psyche.
Anybody else, and I would have thought, oh, that's them describing their character backstory. In your case, Tara, I genuinely am not sure.
Well,
Are you serious? You're talking about your character now? You're talking about real life?
I'm talking about my character.
Oh, okay.
Sure. That was Ellie in character. Don't worry.
Okay. I was like, oh man, I didn't even realize. Jesus, I'm going to have to be careful around you now.
Like a villain's backstory.
Yeah, really dark. I thought we had some dark stories, but that one takes the cake. Okay, yeah. So you've got some light reading.
I'll read it.
Yeah.
Well, if one of you want to take the ritual spell Comprehend Languages, you can all read it. Or most of you can read it.
Is it first level?
Yeah, I think so. And you can share it with the others as well. You can copy it from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not hoarding any information.
Yeah, the only problem is you're a bard, so you can't share it with wizards.
Oh yeah, no, I can't give it to anyone. I'm just talking content
right.
of written things.
But yeah. But unless you want to be treated like the computer on the Star Trek Starship Enterprise.
I mean, there's certain value in being needed, but
needed but not taken for granted.
Yes.
It's first level divination.
Yeah.
I have actually been planning on. I don't use Thunderwave at all, so.
And you should. It's a good spell for the way you play.
It is a good spell. I never end up using it.
Clarissa's just standing there listening to all of you blather on. She's just like admiring her nails. It's funny. I used to have to trim my nails all the time, but ever since the change, they don't really grow. They just look like this. And she shows them to you, and they're beautiful, but they're long and really sharp. And I don't even have to paint them. They're just naturally red now.
That's so. I have similar nails, and I hold up my claws.
Oh, well, Darling, you really do need to get that taken care of. It looks like you've got a hangnail.
I've
Here,
had worse.
here, let me
I'm
bite that
currently
off.
stuck.
Let me bite that off for you. And she reaches for one of your claws to try to put in her mouth.
No. I slap her hand away. No, thank you.
Oh, no need to be rude. I was just trying to be helpful.
Sorry if my temper's a little bit off because I don't remember anything. I just kind of want to get out of here.
Clarissa, have you ever heard mention of or know where this artifact is? Or a fancy reliquary?
I've seen Salerno with a jeweled box. And on a couple of occasions, I think including when he was casting the ritual to convert Cullen, he pulled out what appeared to be a beautiful dagger, either made of glass or crystal, with a liquid inside. It is said to be a weapon that was used by Cyric himself when Cyric was a mortal. I'm no expert on these things, but I think Cyric was a thief or an assassin or something of that sort, and quite liked to backstab his enemies, or anyone really, just for the fun of it.
Well, his backstabbing days are over.
Ooh, I felt that here, Jess. I haven't seen it in a very long time, to be honest, but I also really wasn't paying attention. I don't really need daggers when it comes to drawing blood.
No,
I see what you did there.
You do not.
Are you all right, dear? You look a bit hot. Are you sure you don't need a little bloodletting? It might help cool you down.
I think I'm okay, but I appreciate your concern.
Well, anytime, dear. You know where to find me. She goes back to the Dragonborn and says, when I touched your skin, I didn't realize how cold you were. I think you're a bit colder than I am, which is really quite a feat.
Yeah, I don't need any bloodletting, as you call it. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Cold enough.
I'm good.
Oh, well, such a shame. Ooh. Ooh.
That a moo?
Oh yeah, we gotta get cut.
We should
I'm
probably call
standing here waiting for my turn.
You can interject anytime. We're not in. Sorry, I forgot about you, Henrietta, but not
okay.
permanently.
I'm taking notes. And
check on code.
we need to check on it. I think it was around here, wasn't it?
He's down here.
Where?
And while they're doing that, it may have already been done, but I'm going to go rifle through Salerno's pockets.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Salerno has pockets, but you find nothing but lint and fingernail clippings in them.
Ew.
What you do find that's interesting is that he has a belt, and the belt it's a leather belt, and it has these little leather thongs. Most of them are empty, but there are 3 vials in the thongs.
Found that last time?
Elton.
Yeah, did somebody already take it?
I remember searching Salerno's body last session, but I only had found the book.
Yeah, I don't remember if we discussed the belt. It's underneath his vestments, so you would have had to been searching his body really carefully. But if I forgot to mention it, then I apologize.
I think she said specifically that she asked for the spell book. So I think
Right.
that might be why it wasn't mentioned.
I didn't know he had a spell book. I'm a sorcerer.
Oh,
So yeah, if
What
he's
colour are
still
the
got
3
it,
vials?
2 of them are red and 1 is green.
I mean, I take his belt off if it's still on him.
Yeah, it's attached. He's dead. But his body is essentially intact. If you wanted to bring him back to life, you probably could. With the right spells.
Why would we want to?
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I mean, there's a big river of memory forgetfulness.
But we have seen that spell can be broken, and I don't want him around if it breaks and he suddenly remembers.
So who's going to keep the magical shoes?
And just noted it in the
Okay.
Inventory.
yeah.
All right.
Party inventory. So
All right. So just to be clear, the magical shoes are in the party inventory. They will take at least 1 action to put on. Probably 2, really, if you're getting out of your armor and putting them on. Ellie could probably slip into them in 1 round.
Yeah.
Okay. And who's got the hat? The helmet? Satina?
yes.
Who keeps forgetting to use it?
Yeah.
Yerp.
Yerp. All right.
I do in fact have it.
It's on you. If you want to hold on to it and you keep forgetting to use it, it's on you.
I know.
All right. I mean, I'm just saying you don't have to hold on to it if you think you're going to forget. Okay. And who's holding on to the remaining sample
Vegemite.
of the mold?
I still have no idea what that is. So
I think Satina
It's-
still has it.
It's a black mold, right?
Yes. And it has certain properties.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it makes you smarter, or at least it made Cud smarter.
I
You
do
can
have the
change your-
moldamite.
And
Moldamite. Yeah.
yeah,
You could offer it to your new party members to see if they want to test it.
Oh, I totally could.
Give it a mic. Anybody remember the Life cereal commercials? Any of you old enough? Give it a Mikey. He'll eat anything.
God.
Do not recognize that.
All right. Fair enough. And the shield is in the possession of Dallin?
Yeah.
Okay. And who's got the ring?
I do.
All right. Who's got the old ring? The original ring
Uh,
that was Solenra's
Cora,
graduation
I
gift.
think.
That's me.
I know it's not me.
All right. Yeah, exactly. And who's got the book? Cora
I
as
have-
well?
Oh,
Maddie does. Satina
wait.
does.
I thought Real took it.
He
Yeah, we have-
did. Right.
Leave
He
it.
did, and he's given it to you temporarily, but he'll be taking it back eventually.
Okay.
In fact, he returns after it's been 24 hours.
Yeah.
So he returns. Did you manage to use the book?
Yes. Do you want some proof?
No, that's fine. May I have it back?
Say no.
Do you want to die?
Kill him.
Roll initiative!
He asked it as a question.
Well, I mean, like, I don't want to give it back, but I understand, it was wrong of me to keep it from you until the last minute when you stole it from me. I guess. Okay, and I'll hand it over.
I did not understand in my previous state the magical powers of the simulacrum spell leave one in the position one was at the time the caster created me. However, in the interim, I was briefly tainted by the river, and as a result, I could only speak to my subconscious urge to be reunited with the phylactery. Had I understood its power then, I would never have let it lie. But in the end, it all worked out. I see you've managed to loot a large section of this temple. Does anyone plan to do anything about that net down there?
They're working on it. We're
Yep.
getting there.
Ideas.
I love how you guys have been here so long that you've taken a full day's rest, copied spell books, chatted with people, and left poor Cud just trapped in the net the whole time.
I mean, he's probably fine, right?
He's blissfully happy.
Yeah, he was
way.
just chilling. He needed some relaxation.
Did anybody pick up the Kasuth pendant?
I'd like to pick it up.
Okay. Put that on your inventory. Make sure you mark it.
Okay.
If it's too much hassle for you, somebody else can do it.
Oh no, I just had to sit up.
Oh, okay.
Which that was a hassle.
Yeah, I get it. At your age, ugh.
Oh yeah, no, it's a pain. Oh, that's not right.
I imagine he must have been using that net to capture anyone tainted by the river. That would explain the constant flow and supply of the bodies.
Do you think you'd be willing to help us get our friend out?
I'm limited in what I can spare. I think you can probably manage it on your own.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, he's just tangled in a net. The biggest thing is you have to make sure you don't
fall in the river.
Right,
That's
basically.
the river.
Yeah.
How did Homie get the people out of the
net?
Well, this is an excellent question.
Levitate?
I can't actually see.
We can get him
Yeah,
to tie a rope around himself.
Yeah, it's all shrouded.
Use
Oh,
levitate.
I see. Okay. Is it still shrouded for you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. So you can see that there is a large net strung across the river's egress point. Ellie will also spot, because of her keen elven perception, as will Dallin actually, that there are a number of winches and pulleys and ropes just around the corner here. So you have to reach around it. But they seem to be tied to various pulley systems attached along the upper section of the wall above where you're currently located. It's very obvious that there's a regular diameter rope, a hempen rope, but there's also a fine string attached to the very end of it. You can roll an intelligence check, the two of you.
That's not going to go well.
Or investigation. Yeah. Oh, that's great. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Dallin, you can tell that this is probably a system for creating either a lasso or attaching a hook and then lowering it down to the net, and possibly the smaller string would be used also to guide the rope after somebody is pulling on the rope itself through the winch system. So it'll look something goes out here. And then there's a separate smaller string that pulls back directly. That make sense?
So we can use it to pull cod out of the river.
It's probably been used to fish out anything that gets caught in the net that might be interesting.
And this is our friend, Meridian says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does everybody look at the
What?
Dragonborn?
Of course he is. Don't you try to shoot him.
Do not hurt the Minotaur.
We owe him tea.
To be fair, you should still be cautious. He's been in the river. He might not remember.
Yeah, but
I'm
we're
just gonna
rescuing
let
him.
you guys deal with this.
Judging books by covers.
I
Yeah, let's
was
just-
actually a little curious
Books explode.
what was looking down there.
Let's fish him out quickly.
Yeah. I'm just gonna ask Riel about the horse.
Mhm.
What is he? What is it? There's something strange about him.
Yes. Well, he used to be the steed of Tarelvar, my creator.
Oh.
Tarelvar was a very powerful necromancer, but he also had his own interests on the side when it came to demonology. And my memory of his bringing this to this plane of existence is that he summoned a nightmare.
Ooh. Do I know what that is? I know what it is, but
Yeah.
do I know?
Yeah, so go ahead and roll Arcana.
Oh, Arcana. Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, as a paladin, you'd probably understand a lot about fiends, and nightmares are somewhat iconic. It is a fiendish, essentially horse, but it's very, very powerful, and it is literally a demon. Let me get my nightmare.
We're friendly towards me.
And you are friendly.
Oh
Nice.
wow.
Oh wow, he's beautiful.
Yeah.
I want
Hmm.
one,
I need to find a better name.
but I
Knowing
want
this.
one like that.
You're going to need to become evil.
I
I know.
Tempting.
I'm talking to Joe.
am.
Well, I think the fact that you're tempted tells me that you probably are well on your way. It's like you're looking at Lathander, like, so what have you got?
Kinda.
More angels with wings? I've got my own.
Demon horses.
Demon horse.
Yeah.
So then, how should we get your friend out?
A wonderful question.
Not
Well,
the strongest.
For one thing, the nightmare can fly.
Ooh.
It can also carry up to 3 creatures back and forth between the ethereal plane and the material plane.
Oh.
And it also sheds bright light out to 10 feet and dim light another 10 feet. And you get fire resistance while you're riding it.
Nice.
considering it's a flying horse.
It typically serves demons, devils, death knights, liches, night hags, and other vile monsters.
I can become a night hag. I can become a hag.
Oh, Quaker
I love
Paladin.
that that's the one you go for.
Death knight, maybe.
Oh, get a Death Knight. Well,
Harold Var was a lich. This was his mount.
Why do
It
I
is-
get the feeling that Al wants us to be less heroic now and more demonic?
No, 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 no.
That makes for an
no.
interesting storyline.
No,
You
Absolutely.
can still do good things.
I did not make anything happen. I'm letting you guys decide. If you're going, don't blame your greed on me.
Yeah.
No one forced you to take a wish spell.
I'm not complaining.
it understands abyssal.
I never said it was a
And common, okay.
complaint. More an
Statement.
observation.
Does it have a name?
It does, but its name is one you'll have to learn on your own. You may refer to it as whatever you wish. He responds to you.
I need to come up with a better name. I'll need to think about that.
I could come up with some very.
I believe it might have been called Rimfaxis.
You think?
I'm pretty sure, actually.
Hmm.
I've got it right here, written down.
Oh,
Rimfaxis.
I was thinking Binky.
No, not Binky.
Oh,
Yes,
is
the
intelligent.
demon, and you're gonna name him Binky.
Death's horse is called Binky.
What?
Terry Pratchett.
It also is intelligent and speaks Common and Infernal. Well, it understands
Understand.
Common and Infernal. It doesn't speak.
and abyssal.
No.
Okay. Nightmares, according to Roll20, does, but
It probably should. I mean, I'm happy to let it speak Abyssal. Understand Abyssal, but
it doesn't matter if it understands common.
historically it makes sense because they should have been. They were a cross pantheon, cross plane creature, fiendish creature.
Mm.
But maybe this one just failed Abyssal in school.
Understand common,
Aw.
so
He's already got Common and Infernal. I mean, it's like trigonometry. When am I ever going to need to use that? Abyssal.
I speak abyssal.
I want to give it.
Would you like it to speak Abyssal?
No, it doesn't matter.
You can speak Abyssal with it.
Doesn't understand me. I'm just talking abyssal. He doesn't understand a thing.
It just nods it along like it knows what you're saying.
Hmm.
And then drops a poop.
Yeah.
This is what you wanted, right?
Yeah. It is. It's way cooler. It's like find greater steed.
A little meta.
Yeah.
A little meta.
Yep. It wasn't in game.
Okay, so who's going to try to do what to get Cud out of the river?
Let's.
And
let's have
what's
a
your-
close-
What's your backup plan if somebody falls in?
I want to have a proper look at these pulleys first to kind of work out which one does which. Which one will pull the net closer, which one will just drop the net, things like
The
that.
net itself actually seems to be secured in place by a bunch of iron spikes. So it's just a drag net. But the pulley system seems, and the spaces in the net itself are fairly large. I mean, relative to, what nets might look like. It's not a fishing net. Between the squares have a length of about 8 inches per side. So most tiny creatures would go straight through it. But the pulley system includes a loose rope, but there are also a number of things hanging along the wall, such as I said, a hook. You can certainly tie, loops through it.
How heavy is Cud?
Excellent question. Did we not discuss this at one point? I feel like we talked about it.
Yeah, because of floating disc.
Mm-hmm. Anybody remember?
300 pounds.
No.
Yeah, I feel like we determined that whatever it was more than the floating disc.
Yeah.
Which is why he fell in the river.
Yeah.
So greater
Well
than
done.
500.
Well done, Jessica. Yeah. No, that's right. And, again, Cud is a large-sized creature. He is the size of a bull standing on his hind legs. So,
I'm not going to be able to carry him.
For those of you who know what a bull weighs, right, they're up to like a ton.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But although he may not be a ton, but he's definitely going to be like, easily 1,000 pounds or something.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be able to pick him up, which is a shame. Because I could have just flown down and got him.
Is he awake?
He's awake. He's mooing.
Do you think we could tempt him towards the edge of the net with some food? Or is he too tangled up to move?
He looks very badly tangled up. He might be able to break the net. You don't know. But, he also doesn't seem like he's, other than sort of a laconic mooing, he doesn't seem like he's in distress necessarily. So you'd have to find a way to get him to really want to put some effort into it if you wanted him to do it on his own.
Is the bottom of the net actually staked into the ground, or is it only the top part of the net?
Let's see. Can you see so it's 20 feet height. Yeah, you can see it. The net has a number of secured fastenings, both along the bottom edge as well as the two sides. And it seems to be pinned into the rock via, iron spikes and what are they called again? Pitons.
I do have an idea, but it requires using a spell. If we have it. Do any of us have levitate?
Or do we have anything in the arsenal? I know everybody has a lot of stuff. Anything that might be helpful?
Somebody used to have levitate.
Somebody did used to have levitate.
We used it on the mummy.
Somebody used to have levitate and then decided it was never going to be useful.
Oh, okay.
I did do that. I have mage hand.
That's 10 pounds. I don't think that's gonna work.
Maybe
Slap yourself across the face with it.
Levitate's a second level spell, so I don't have it.
Yeah.
I do have the immovable rod.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which can carry up to how many? 8,000 pounds?
Yeah, it can carry quite a lot of weight.
If only somebody had used the immovable rod initially, Cud might not be in this position. Oh well.
Oof.
Does anyone have spider climb?
Yeah. I was actually thinking if we could cut the bottom ropes, then we might be able to lift it up and create a hammock with the hook, and then have Cud crawl across.
Crud.
Well, I can fly out on my new steed and fix the net in the immovable rod. But if we can untangle him, he can crawl over
Yeah.
himself.
Using
Can't
food
he?
and things to kind of like tempt him, because he's got to be hungry at that point.
Yeah. I do
He's
have a
gotta be
feeling
hungry.
that he kind of forgot about tea. So I don't think we can use that now.
Does anyone have message? They might be able to check his cognitive awareness in his
I
mind.
do. Can I send a message basically, hello Cud, into his poor Minotaur brain?
Oh,
Poor guy.
you have message?
Yeah, I've got message.
Okay. Is it where? How are you going to get to within 30 feet of him? Remember, it's not just the. We're talking about the hypotenuse of a triangle with 30 feet on one side and 20 feet on the other, right?
If Dallin moves back, I can step into that position, and that's about 30 feet there.
Message has a range of 120.
Yeah.
Oh, does it? Why am
Yep.
I thinking of 30 feet? Oh, I'm thinking of Mage Hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you can definitely do it. What do you want to say?
No good. We're going to get you out. Do you remember tea?
He looks up at you and moos, but says, "Tea."
Like he says it?
Yeah,
In
he
my
says
brain.
it.
Nice.
Well,
Yes,
he says it to
Ellie.
he says it to Ellie. I mean, he's responding via message, right?
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Do you remember tea?
And I'm going to go over to Clarissa and ask her, by any chance in that wonderful room of various drinks, do you have any tea? Any tea-like beverages?
Ooh, tea. I might, but I would want something in return.
Yeah, of course you would.
Joe,
Can
you've
wonder-
become so cynical.
if
Well, I'm old, you see, so I'm cynical.
if we get
Story will accept.
just
A simple drink for a drink. Yes?
Deal. And she bites into your forearm before you even have a chance to say anything else. Well, once you get the answer you want, you just move right on ahead,
Yep.
right?
Well, yep. Well, at least he'll be able to deliver on the tea promise.
we were going to, it just takes a little bit more time than we thought it would.
It takes a little bit of effort.
Yeah. So, you will take 9 points of piercing damage and 5 points of necrotic. And your hit points are reduced by the 5 necrotic. Permanently. Permanently until your long rest.
Oh, yeah.
She spider climbs along the roof, along sort of the outside edge, across the chasm, and then plops down agilely on the other side, and then walks off and disappears towards the sanctum, otherwise known as the spa room. And after a brief few minutes, she returns carrying this in her mouth because she's obviously got no pockets in her outfit.
Cool.
And she gives it to you. It is a very large tumbler that is fastened at the top with a little top that is attached via a metal clasp and lid device. And in it swirls something slightly brownish, but somewhat transparent. It looks like dirty water, possibly.
Well,
Yeah.
she seems like a lady with fine taste, so...
Would you
I'm
like
not
to
gonna-
sample it?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Story's looking a little peaked after that bite, but so yeah, she'll take a
Hold on a moment.
sniff first, and then a sip.
Just wait a moment. I'm first. You're 9 down, right? Because you took 5 off max health.
I took 5 off max health and took 14 damage in total.
Right.
14. Yeah. I'm gonna give you 10 before you drink anything from my lion hands.
Okay.
Just in case. And I'm gonna move it. I don't trust anything here.
I mean, we've got no indication that she would try to poison me. I mean, we were drinking with her before, I believe.
Yeah, well, someone else
Transforming
got,
potions.
yeah, tails, got blue lips. So, go ahead.
Eat well, stay fit, die anyway. And she'll take a sip. I also want to
Yeah.
verify that it's tea. Or tea-ish.
Tea-esque?
Tea, yeah, tea adjacent. Yeah, okay. So you take a sip. You feel very relaxed, and you start. Everything seems to be getting taller and taller,
Oh,
and
goodness.
the vial or the container drops to the ground unbroken, and you suddenly realize you're staring straight up at the ceiling. The rest of you are watching as Story's rather beautifully proportioned physique with her angular horns and her sharp outfit sort of blends together and looks like it's melting. And before you know it, she's a puddle on the floor.
Look.
Oh. What kind of tea was that?
Then
Told
message
you.
to Story. What did you drink?
Story,
What
you
can
feel
I do
fine,
as a
except
puddle?
for the. Well, you can slough around.
I would like to slough around the feet of. I would like to get her feet wet. Clarice.
Oh, that's you. Oh, you're quite warm, actually. And she wiggles her toes in you.
Ew.
I don't care. I'm mad. She's lucky I have an understanding of the value of what I have, or I would do a thing. You
What?
cheating, worthless creature.
What sort of tea was that, Clarissa? Exactly.
Oh, it's. And she looks at the bottom. It says potion of aqueous form. Oh, I think if you concentrate, you can stand up.
All right, I'll move out from under her feet and I will try.
And you can stand up, and you don't retain your original form, but you're basically looking like a walking little fountain, about the same height as what you were before, and your colors look roughly in the right place, but your face looks like a big melted wax candle.
That's not disturbing whatsoever.
Can I still speak? Like I'll try speaking. Like I'll try to kind of so I imagine it's kind of like a to turn around towards everybody else, and I'll try and speak and ask if there are any tight spaces we need to get through at the moment.
Yeah, it comes out like a gurgle, but they can basically work it out. Are there any tight spaces?
Can Ellie message Story just reply to this message? I will translate for you.
I got cheated.
She says she got cheated.
We
No
can
shit.
see that.
Larissa
Anything-
looks at it and
Sorry.
says, "No, I think this is quite a nice potion. I think it's quite useful."
Yeah, but didn't we ask for tea?
Well, I
Uh,
mean, I
if
don't
cut-
really drink tea. If you haven't noticed, my tastes tend to be a little bit more on the sanguine end of the spectrum. It looked like tea to me.
But if we give this to Cud, he will literally just go through the net, fall in the river.
Yeah.
Use
Well,
the-
I suppose that's one way to get him free of the net.
Why-
But
why
it defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do.
We want to get him out of the net.
I
On
would
the
like
dry
to.
ground.
Oh,
To
I'm
test-
not. I don't know. I wasn't very good at math in school.
Because I thought about giving him some of my polymorph juice, but if he turns into a smaller creature, he will just fall through the gaps in the net.
Or
Like
it turns
a-
into a fish, he'll just swim away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't want that.
Yeah. Can I message Cud just like, how you doing down there?
Ask if he can get free.
Do you
If you
think?
can
Yeah. Do you think you
try
could
to
get yourself free
untangle.
and climb towards us?
I feel like that's a persuasion check just to get him to do anything.
Oh
At,
god.
at the moment, he's sort of channeling your lazy cousin who never does anything except eat snacks on the sofa watching telly.
Oh my god!
Actually, can I use my inspiration on that?
Not after you've rolled it, no.
Oh,
That's not how inspiration works.
I
You know
should
that.
have. I should have known. I
Yeah,
have
it's all right.
terrible persuasion.
Yeah, it's all right. He just looks up at you and kind of goes, "Moo."
No. Okay.
um,
All I got was moo on that one.
And he sort of shakes his head a little bit and then goes back to mooing on his own.
but he's only 30 feet away, so we can talk to him, right?
Yeah, it's
You
more
don't
than
have to
30 feet, but it's
Yeah.
within the main range of the message cantrip. I forgot.
Yeah, but can we talk to him? He can hear us if you just talk to him.
Yeah, you can
normal,
shout.
yeah.
I mean, there is the babbling of the stream itself and the echoing of the canyon, but he can certainly hear you.
Okay. Well, Salerno managed to get Icicle out,
Mhm.
so it should
Too
be
bad we can't ask him.
Here, let me try maybe. When persuasion doesn't work,
If only somebody had speak with dead.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean down and put my 2 cents in and yell towards the Minotaur, hoping he understands common. And I'm just gonna like, does it look like he could get out on his own, or at least help us if you wanted to?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not even down there, so he's very clearly tangled up. You can see that he's kind of the position he's in. He's he's got one arm over his head, another one's trapped out in the other side. One leg is kind of half cocked out of the water. The other one's trailing in the water. One of his horns is wrapped up around the net.
Never mind.
What?
Never mind. I said nothing.
Can he get out? Maybe.
But we don't have a plan set in place to actually help him get himself out if you wanted to yet, do we?
Well, I think that's what you guys are working out, right?
Yeah.
Have another idea. If I take the nightmare, fly down to him, try to persuade him to come willingly into the eternal plane, and then we can just bounce back. I guess that the nightmare can decide where to end up again.
But
Or
would
is it
Nightmare
just-
be able to carry him?
No, but it doesn't. It just says the nightmare and up to 3 willing creatures within 5 feet of it magically enters the internal plane.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't say anything about having to carry it.
And I mean, he could move around freely then in the ethereal plane on his own will.
And if we bounce back. But I don't know if
We just need to get
I
him to
know
follow
that
the
it
horse.
even has that ability. So
Always
Mhm.
portal.
or I can fly down, set up the immovable rod, try to persuade him to take a hold of it while I try to untangle him, and then he can crawl up. With the help of us tying some ropes to him and help him dragging him up or something.
Just tie some lassos and toss
Yeah.
them.
Use the
And
nets as like
it-
a climbing.
To be honest, it doesn't really matter if it drops down into the water.
Again.
No, it doesn't remember anything.
Well, then why don't we
Either
just is there any sort of bank beside the river, or is it just like straight drop into the river from a cliff?
Well, I mean, the terrain features you can see on the map are,
Yeah.
approximately analogous. So it's they are ledges. The layout, I don't know if you actually heard it, but the layout is essentially there's about 20 to 30 feet of open space.
Yeah.
So this all of these prepared carved out areas like the one you're currently in, the ceilings are 20 feet broadly. Above that, there's another 20 to 30 feet before you occasionally can see these rays of light that presumably are from, the sky, whether it's a sun or moonbeams or something. And below this level, there's about 20 feet roughly to where the water's edge is.
And maybe if I could make a suggestion, we can place the immovable rod in a place where he would be able to use it to help get him out. We could tie ropes to him and whatnot. But if we're not concerned about him dropping into the river because he's already lost his memories, why don't we just burn the rope, let him drop in, and after we've persuaded him to get out, and help him get out that way?
Yeah, but if he falls in the river, we don't know where he's gonna end up.
Yeah. That and we'd have to persuade him all over again
Yeah.
to trust us.
He
and
couldn't,
he'd be
like,
cramped
Swim
in river
out
water.
or climb out of the river?
When they fall in the river, they kind of
Just
Lay there.
they
I
don't do
see.
anything. Yeah.
So
We
the
could
effects of the river, according to Ellie's understanding, the effects of the true river Styx are so powerful that not only does a creature or soul suffer from complete amnesia, they also are. I don't want to metagame and tell you what the exact phrase is, but they essentially lose all mental faculties. So they aren't even, intelligent anymore. There's obviously a difference between that historical reference, which Ellie is aware of because of her previous high role and her relationship with the goddess of death, and what you're dealing with here, because everyone who has been in touch with it that you've encountered so far seems to retain some memory of their abilities. They simply lose sort of a localized memory of who they are. But there is a risk that, you could end up in a situation where somebody just, completely forgets what's going on. And the impression you had from Icicle and Cud when they fell in was that they weren't even worried about their predicament.
He doesn't seem worried now either.
One was
And he-
floating gently on his back. The other one was gently swimming, but with the current, not
Okay.
fighting it.
So then, but he's a heavy creature. Is he high enough that if this part of the net was destroyed, he'd kind of swing to the side?
Oh,
Like-
that's a very good point. Yeah. I mean,
Swing
you
this
know,
way.
it depends a little bit on how the net is constructed.
Yeah.
The net, you know, may be strong enough if supported on both sides, but whether or not it would be strong enough to support him once one half of it has been destroyed.
Perhaps we could get him to grab onto some ropes that our party is holding, target this side of the net, and then with his help, if we can persuade him to get and help him to climb up the ledge over on this side.
Yeah.
One thing to keep in mind is he is actually in the river.
He's
Oh.
partially in the river, so we need to
Okay.
lift him out.
Yeah, of
of the
course.
water.
So he's constantly being hit with this. Do you see what I mean?
You
Ah,
think?
But if
Could
we-
I?
tighten the rope. Does that tighten the net?
The rope sags into the river.
Okay.
Okay, then.
So it's you can see that it appears to be secure. You can tell from the angles and the fact that you're close enough that it appears to be secured very firmly along the riverbank and along the edges of the chasm. But in the middle, it definitely sags into the river, partly possibly because of Cud's weight. But whether or not it's also sagging because it's secure in the riverbed, you don't necessarily know from this angle.
Okay.
Do you think?
One
think
last
we could
idea is
use-
maybe we could tie a rope around this pillar and
Yeah.
toss it to him. A couple ropes, maybe.
I was
Yeah, we have
thinking
to
maybe
have-
we could use the hook to lift the bottom of the net out of the water, and hopefully that would lift Cud with it lightly. Or we could ask him if he could climb up the net a bit to help us get him out of there. But it depends on how short-term his memory is at the moment.
Yeah, we need to get him out of the river.
Any other thoughts, Jessica? Or
I'm just
Joe?
waiting for the potion to wear off, so I'm just covetously acquiescing around the fallen potion bottle, which is mine because I paid for it.
Go into the bottle.
Fair enough. Yeah, you could be Genie. Yeah, so eventually it does start to wear off, and you start to feel the effects dissipate. You start to reform a bit. You feel a bit more firm, and over the course of say 10 minutes or so, you regain your full posture.
All right, so it had like a duration of about 10.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will pick up the bottle, make sure it is firmly corked, turn to Clarissa and say, "Not what I had in mind, but thank you." And then I will walk back to everybody else.
She'll raise both hands and say, "Sorry, I didn't think to read it. You just asked me. I wasn't sure, but hopefully you'll enjoy it in good health. But remember, drink responsibly."
Mm-hmm. You too.
When she became a puddle as such, did that change her weight?
She
Nope.
walks back, finding Cora
No.
looking at
Okay.
her curiously.
She became very heavy water.
So there's
Yeah,
the whole
that's fair
problem
enough.
of slip through the net.
I was just thinking if we gave it to Cud and it lightened his weight, it would help us get him out.
Also,
Good
slip
idea.
through the nets into the river.
But if he
Goodbye, Mike.
already is in the river, we could try to give him the polymorph potion. But if
So
he,
the polymorph potion, I think, requires that the person who's drinking it take an action to decide what they want to be, right? I mean, the spell polymorph.
yeah,
I just drank it and then I came up with bubbles. I did make a Constitution saving throw
Yeah, but maybe that was subconsciously what you were thinking.
to become bubbles.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tell me you didn't want to. Come on, be honest.
bubbles are cool. I mean, but like it would. I don't think it would have been my first choice.
but if we,
That's the spell. Sorry about the length of it.
Okay.
yeah, the caster
This
decides
is-
what
Well, the caster, but this is the spell.
Yeah.
So this is, essentially the potion means that you're casting it on yourself.
If Ellie keeps whispering an animal into his head while he drinks it.
and prefaces it by saying, "Do not think of the purple elephant. Do not think of the purple elephant."
I mean, we also have to consider that he'll only be as smart as whatever creature he becomes, so...
Why don't we just use the flying horse?
It's not
some
strong
more?
enough to get him up.
Why
Listen,
do you
you-
think that? Wait, why are you saying that?
We
Why
don't
is that?
necessarily need to pull him out completely, just lift the bit of net that he's hanging on out of the water.
At the
and then
very
get
least, we could
him
tie some
across
rope and throw it to him.
once his memory's more solid.
I'm just gonna come up and say, "Look, you stupid cow, do you want to be down there forever?"
Oh,
And he forgot it.
no.
This is where we need to get his foot out of the water.
Yeah. But can
Once
we
that's
try
out-
to...
Can we try to hook that bit of net and lift it out the water? with
yeah,
the
if we all
winch?
also try to pull
Well,
simultaneously.
we could try to hook some ropes around his horns or something and tie it to this pillar so at the very least we aren't the ones holding the rope and potentially get pulled in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a winch system, so we could literally just lift that 1 foot out of the water using the winch system.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
get him the rest of the way though, I mean.
Yeah, to get him the rest of the way, we'll have to work something out. But once his foot's out of the water, his memory will probably be more stable, and we can actually have a conversation with him without him immediately forgetting it.
Satina, do I remember correctly? Did you say that you have a grappling hook? Or
There is literally a grappling hook hanging on the wall.
okay, it's
Yeah.
on the wall. Okay, then we can use that. I just
Uh,
thought that.
Yeah, I don't have a grappling hook. I'm sorry. I'm a
No,
sage.
but-
Let's get that foot out of the water, then we can
Yeah,
actually talk. to
let's
this
try
poor
to
guy.
hook it up to the net and winch it out of the water, and see if we can.
Yeah.
Okay, so who wants to try doing that?
If
I
loop a
will
rope-
help.
If I loop a rope around myself, I should be able to get to the winch and do that. And if someone holds the other end of the rope, if I slip, I won't plummet into the river. I'll just drop down a few feet.
I mean, I certainly shouldn't be doing that by myself.
Yeah.
I think me and Cora might, if we hold on to the rope. If we're two, then
Yeah,
if one of us slips or something.
yeah, I can go for the winch if you want.
All right. Ellie, I believe in you, and I will give you a bardic inspiration.
Yay! Let's see if we
So
get
you can add a
consent.
d6 to.
Yay! Okay.
Okay.
So
Any ability check, attack roll, or saving throw within the
Let's-
next 10 minutes.
let's get Cud's foot out of the water.
Can you add bless on top of bardic inspiration?
Post it. I think Bless is saving throws and attacks, isn't it?
So attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Saving
thinking of
throws.
guidance.
Guidance is what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an ability.
Yep.
Hmm.
But there is something else did you guys talk about something else you guys can do? You're using bardic inspiration? Regular
You
inspiration?
can use your normal inspiration.
Yeah.
Miss, can I use it after I roll a 1?
Yeah. Let's just It's been a long day. Uh,
How do you think I feel?
I know. I'm sorry.
All right. Okay. So you're going to use your regular inspiration and your bardic inspiration.
I'm going to use Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. Now, technically, regular inspiration just gives you advantage. You're already getting that because somebody else is giving you the help action.
Yeah.
So you don't really need it. But I just wanted to remind you that you could have done it that way. But what I will do is, because somebody else is helping you and essentially taking the load off. And there's two ways we can do this. We can do this as a check, which is the simplest way. Or I can do all the math. And if you guys are strong enough, realistically, we could just add it all up, right? If you exceed a certain weight in physics, in real life physics, you should be able to lift them out, assuming there's no
And
problem
with the
with
help of the horse as well.
Yeah, with the force on the rope and the net, and it doesn't break anything. So
we don't even have to pull him all of the way out of the net or the river.
Well,
we just need to get that.
So if you
foot
want to
out.
if you just want to fish out the foot, I'll say that's a dexterity check. In which case, I'm not sure that. I guess somebody could help you by doing it. So you don't need to use your inspiration for that. But then once you get the foot out, pulling them out should just be a matter of math.
Let's get the foot out first, and then
Okay. All right.
dexterity, and I'm getting the help action.
Okay. So you'll have inspiration. You'll have advantage with bardic inspiration to. So just to be clear, you're going to use the help action and the bardic inspiration to accurately loop around the leg. So you're not trying to lift it out yet. You're just trying to target the leg properly.
Yeah.
Okay, go for
it. Dex. That's a 23 without bardic inspiration.
Wow, that's fine. That'll do. And as
Please
the leg
use
comes
it anyway.
out, and as the leg comes out, you see this attached to it.
Oh,
Ew.
Ew. Oh.
That could have been.
Lovely.
Wait, is that Satina? I see a beard.
What?
One of the skin things again.
So funny.
Do you remember somebody threw a skin thing in there?
Oh,
it's probably not.
I think that was me.
Yes, and now the leg is out. And as the leg comes out, Cud looks down at the skin thing adhering to his shin and goes, "Moo." And he starts trying to gore at it with his horns, but he's not really able to reach. But he lifts his leg up towards his horn to try to, it's almost like he's trying to use his horns to scratch his leg.
So pitiful.
So I'm
Get out now before you're stuck there forever.
Go ahead, roll persuasion.
All
Can
right.
you do it?
I have a +8, so maybe. 18.
Yeah. Who wants to roll for Cud to see if he can try to free himself? We'll call
I'll
it
do
a
it.
grapple check. Go for it.
14?
Cud is pretty strong. Let me just double check. Yeah, he starts tearing away at some of the rope, dragging himself and his
Attaboy!
skinny friend with him. And then he's standing on the edge, on the ledge there.
One back up so Cud can get.
Yep. Give him toss him a rope, and just so he has something to hold on to. No.
God, it's gone.
Yes, we're going to stop here.
Don't want to kill Cud.
No.
Let's just peel the thing off.
Just throw it back in the river.
Just peel, just like use a stick to like peel it off and just go, back you go.
All right, and we will stop there.
God.
We'll pick it up next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was a good session.
Yeah.
Was
You
a good
guys,
session.
you guys
Only
figured
used-
it out.
Like 45 minutes to decide how to get cut out.
Yeah.
Well, it's looking like he's
Yeah.
gonna be super ungrateful.
And all
Well,
it
I
took was
know.
story.
He
to
doesn't
just-
have to be. He doesn't have to be. You guys can, you guys have successfully broken this magical hold of the watered down sticks before, so
Yeah,
just figure it out.
We'll just
mean-
offer him tea and have him drink the liquid stuff, and then just if he gets violent.
Just run.
Just brush him away. Put him into the vial.
E?
The thing is, I would like to offer him actual tea, because if he is willing to be passive for tea, then turning him into a puddle is probably not ideal. And she does a dirty look at Clarice.
I don't remember how we got him to think about tea in the first place.
That was after the combat.
Yeah.
It was so weird. It was such a weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
this
won't
is
ride him this time.
Yeah. That's
Or
right.
are we rolling initiative? I'm sorry, I didn't do
We
that.
had it. That's okay. We can pick it up next week.
Okay.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. It was a fun session. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yes.
Did.
Mhm.
I didn't expect us to spend quite as much time as we did on everything, but I think it worked out all right.
Yeah. Got cool stuff.
Yeah, got some cool stuff. And somebody still has a wish spell that everybody is still avariciously, considering.
Well, they all got tons of nice magic items.